What is going on, everyone? We are Tottenham TV here, back again with another live watch along for you guys. And it is FA Cup weekend as Spurs play at home to Burnley in the third round. Joining me on today's watch along, I've got Barnaby Slater here with me from the Spurred On podcast. Look, big up to everyone here in the chat, all 400 of you at the moment. But without further ado, looking at the lineup going into Spurs' third round tie against Burnley here. It's a massive game, isn't it? FA Cup. We got kind of dumped out the League Cup by Fulham on the second round. That came with a lot of criticism. But looking at the lineup for today, Ange, I think, I don't know where you can say he's answering the critics, but he's gone full strength pretty much. And I think to everyone's delight that we are going very strong. I'll just run through the lineup quickly. Vicario in goal, Porro, Emerson, Davis and Udogie in the back, Bentancur, Skip and Lo Celso in the midfield with Kulusevski, Brennan Johnson and Richarlison making up the front three. But I think the headline news comes from the bench with Fraser Forster, Dorrington, Phillips, Mickey van der Ven, Højbjerg, Ryan Sessegnon, Brian Hill, Dane Scarlett and Jamie Donnelly making the bench. So Van der Ven and Ryan Sessegnon making their long-awaited returns here to the match day squad. It's been a long time coming. Barnaby, looking at that lineup, do you have any complaints whatsoever with the lineup he's picked?
No, I'm absolutely ecstatic. Hello, everyone watching at home. It's FA Cup. It's Tottenham Hotspur. This is the bread and butter of this club, and I think Ange smells it. I was really worried over the last kind of 48 hours that maybe he'd pick Fraser Forster in goal and just do that kind of half and half pick team, which is kind of what Burnley have done actually, but he's gone full strength. Every single option that we've got in our first team that is available, he has put in, and therefore there can be no complaints whatsoever. No fans can have a go at Ange if we go out tonight. He's done his best, and that's all we can ask. I'm very excited about this game. It's Friday night, should be a good atmosphere in the stadium. Got a good team out. Burnley will play a similar kind of attacking game to us, get the ball down, should be goals, should be fun, and it's what the FA Cup's all about. And, you know, I don't know. Call it early. I've got a good feeling about this trophy for us this season. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think a great opportunity for us, especially we know one of the big boys in Arsenal and Liverpool are going to be exiting this round. We don't have any European football in the second half of the season. There's no reason why to not take this trophy as serious as possible and to try and get some silverware through the door. I'm sure that's what Ange is thinking, and that's the thought process behind the strong lineup tonight. And obviously the headline team news in terms of returnees, Mickey van der Ven and Ryan Sessegnon. Unbelievable news to have them back and available and back in the matchday squads, especially Mickey van der Ven. Obviously, he's been a massive miss since that hamstring injury against Chelsea a couple months ago. In fact, maybe he's back a bit quicker than expected, considering everyone assumed he'd be out for at least 3 months, and he's come back after a couple of months. Again, Ange playing his cards very close to his chest, especially with Sessegnon. No indication at all that he was going to be in the matchday squad for tonight, and yet here he is, another good a good player to come back and help with the left-hand side. We do lack cover, especially for Destiny Udogie on the left-hand side. So I'm intrigued to see where Ange sees him and where he's fitting in. But what's your reaction to them returning to the matchday squad?
Well, obviously, as you mentioned, the huge thing is Mickey van der Ven. It's a bad hamstring injury he's had. So I think kind of wrapping him in cotton wool and maybe giving him 20 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes at the end is the right way to go about it. In terms of Ryan Sessegnon, I don't know. I have a feeling that Sessegnon has exactly the right manager now. Someone who can put his arm around him and maybe make him believe in himself again. He's such a talent. And actually, as you said, yes, he'd be a good backup potentially for Destiny, but I wonder more whether he could be someone that might get some game time on the kind of left wing role. We're missing out on Perisic at the moment. Obviously, Sonny's away. Richarlison's going to play in the 9. So I see him as very similar in terms of talent as Brennan Johnson. Really great crosser of the ball, not rapid pace-wise, but when he gets up to full speed, he's quite difficult to kind of get hold of. And yeah, really good finisher at the back stick as well, which is obviously a huge thing that Big Ange likes to have from his wingers, coming in on the back stick when the opposing winger has got the ball. So, I don't know, maybe we'll see him get some game time. It seems unlikely with him having had such a huge injury that he'll get a move this January. I don't think that's likely. So, my feeling is, can Big Ange get his arms around him, make him remember that he's a really talented prospect, and if he can stay fit, of course, that's the other thing. But going back to Van der Ven, yeah, we need him now in this January period especially to really get back into that team. So wrap him in cotton wool, give him some minutes here, and then maybe we can get him on the pitch starting at Old Trafford, possibly even with our new signing Dragusin, if that gets over the line.
Yeah, that'd absolutely be unbelievable. And obviously, I'm just watching the teams go out of the tunnel right now. Rodrigo Bentancur leading the teams out. A lot of people wondering who's going to be captain in the absence of Heung-min Son, Romero, and Maddison. Well, we got our answer. Ange was asked about it in his little pre-match talk to ITV, and he was saying it was like reward for Bentancur because it means so much to everyone that he's back and available, and he's had a couple of injuries and he's fought so hard to get back, and it means a lot to him. So really brilliant moment for him, isn't it, to be captain tonight?
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer, actually. He mentioned how Bentancur basically is the epitome of what this club under Ange is going to be all about and what he wants it to be about. Great attitude, really great player on the pitch. Also kind of like knocking down at his door when he's been injured, wanting to play and wanting to prove himself and having to get through, kind of show the desire to get through unlucky injuries and unlucky moments. So yeah, I think it's the right thing for him to be captain. I think more importantly, I don't think Ben Davies, who was probably the other option, will really care that much. He just gets on with his game, and Bentancur will see it as like a big moment for him. And also, I think another good moment for that kind of South American clique that we've got. Obviously, Romero is the vice-captain when fit, and now Bentancur clearly a member of that leadership group as well. I don't think it'll do anything but good for us. So very, very exciting. I just wanted to mention to you, Sim, obviously we've got Johnson and Kulusevski. Do you think Kulusevski's going to start on the left, or do you think he's going to start on the right? For me, I've only really felt that Johnson is comfortable on the right. So it'll be interesting to see which way they start.
Yeah, we did our predicted lineup, me and Brian Daigle, and I predicted Decky to start on the left and Brennan to start on the right today. I just feel like we've seen Brennan, how effective he can be on the right. We saw a little snippet of Kulu on the left when we played against Newcastle. We played that last 10, 15 minutes of that game on the left-hand side and did look quite effective, created a few chances. So we've seen when we've obviously switched Decky, we've played Johnson and Decky on those respective sides before, and I'm not saying it's been a disaster by any means, but hasn't quite clicked the same way. I think it would be time to give this kind of avenue a go. Start Decky on the left, see how he does. If it really isn't working, you can always switch it back. But I just feel like it's too much change to the front three to put Johnson back on the left where he's less effective. And then obviously we know Decky is good on the right, but I just feel like him now playing in that central role, having that experience, maybe can give him that more versatile experience to play on that left-hand side and open up the angles. So I'm wondering if that's what Ange is thinking going into this game. But I'll run through the Burnley lineup quickly before the game starts. And they've got a pretty strong lineup out. It's Muric in goal, Vitinho, O'Shea, Delacroix and Taylor in the back, Zaruri, Aaron Ramsey, Josh Cullen and Wilson Odobert in the midfield with Amdouni and Lyle Foster up front. Obviously the two big hitters for Burnley do remain in the front line. Yeah, look, I think it's a fairly strong lineup from their point of view. And actually, to be fair to Burnley, their away form has picked up a bit in recent weeks, so you definitely can't take this game for granted.
No, I don't think it'll be an easy game at all because it's a free hit for Burnley. No one's expecting anything from them. And, they're playing a kind of half and half side where Spurs have gone full strength. So it's really like they're the underdogs and they do play some good football. They will open us up at times. And if they can be clinical, they will score goals. But you'd like to think with our front kind of four that we should be clinical on a night like tonight. I saw some tweets from some Burnley fans. They were saying, don't expect a clean sheet tonight, boys, with this team out. So I'm hoping I'm not putting the kind of pundit's curse on it by suggesting that, but there should be goals and it should be good. We should probably talk about Oliver Skipp. He's got straight back in, kind of first opportunity after his injury, really, now that we've got players out. Do you think he'll play in that 6, or do you think Bentancur will play in the 6 and Skipp will be a bit more advanced?
Just judging by history of where Andrews used those players, I'm going to assume Bentancur's going to be in the 6 and Skipp in the 8, albeit, the last game against Bournemouth, what really changed was when he brought Højbjerg on and kind of made Skipp and Højbjerg a double pivot with Lo Celso free roll. So it'd be interesting if he kind of goes in that direction. Maybe it could help Skipp a lot, maybe stop him from getting overrun, because that's maybe where he's struggled in recent weeks. But kickoff is underway here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Burnley have kicked off from left to right here in their home strip. Tottenham King from right to left in their all-white strip. And
Johnson started on the left, I think.
Johnson has started on the left, so looks like I was wrong on that one. Let me see if I can turn this down. Burnley on the front foot. trying to take the game to us. I feel like for Burnley in this game, I was saying it before the game, like the last thing they want, I think, especially in a relegation battle, is an extra game and a replay for them. So I feel like they're going to have a go tonight, and if they go out, they got bigger things to think about, and if they go through, then brilliant. But I think the last thing they want is a replay tonight.
Yeah, I agree. The worry I have, and I mentioned it on the Spurred On podcast this week, which you guys should check out if you're not a follower. Go in the title. That's where my handle is. I mentioned this week that in the last 5 seasons, the teams that we've gone out to in the FA Cup are what I can best describe as Burnley-esque. I think it's like Middlesbrough, Crystal Palace, Everton, Norwich, and one other. So, if we turn up in any way complacent in this game, then we will get punished, that's for sure. Yeah,
it's easy to forget as well, wasn't it? The last year, Sheffield United, they had a B team, didn't they, in that game? And we ended up, turning up with a really poor performance and succumbing to a 1-0 defeat. And that was one of the final nails in the Conte's coffin, wasn't it? That Sheffield United game.
Yeah, he left Kane on the bench.
That was it, yeah. But look, Spurs now in possession. Emerson Royale coming into midfield.
Emerson Royale has already shown me one occasion where his striker went deep, kind of back into his own half, and Royal just followed him all the way there. I was just like, maybe don't leave your centre-back partner on his own. But I'm looking forward to another game of seeing Bentancur and Lo Celso near each other. Both lovely little players in terms of one- and two-touch stuff, taking the ball on the half-turn, which is what kind of getting forward and playing Ange ball is all about.
Here's a bit of a question. If Dragutin isn't over the line by the United game and Van der Ven is fit, who do you reckon he partners? Do you reckon he partners Emerson?
Davis.
I
think Van der Ven plays on the... No, I think Van der Ven goes...
Or here's Kulusevski into the box, headed away.
Yeah, so Van der Ven, he is left-footed, obviously, but for some reason I don't see him as brilliant from Udogie there.
Oh, he's in the box, penalty!
No, you won't get that one. I don't think you get that.
But here we go. Johnson knows that. That's a good challenge this time. But Tottenham pressing high. Lo Celso this time nicking the ball high up the pitch. Little nutmeg, but he's lost out this time to Aaron Ramsey, and here's Foster to come forward for Burnley. Couple of penalty shouts there. Doesn't look like, I think, anything. Is there VAR tonight?
I actually have no idea, but Burnley are now on the break, and they've got 4 men forward. 5 men forward,
Charlie
actually.
Taylor on the left-hand side.
Oh, chance!
Foster. Oh, he's missed it. And Zorore, and it's over the bar. Showing a bit of threat there, Burnley on the counter, though.
That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be basketball. I like the way I have to say, I like the way that Company sets up his team. I like the fact that he has been completely single-minded, and all the pundits in classic style, there is a VAR check here, actually.
So there is VAR.
Over the penalty. I'd be very surprised if we got this. So Destiny had the ball. He runs into the box. No, it's a 50-50, I think.
Let me see this. I mean, Destiny does get there first. I don't think VAR should be getting involved in that. Did you see you saw the one yesterday, right, with Calvert-Lewin? Like, how are VAR looking at that and thinking we need to intervene here? I mean, it's crazy.
It's completely ridiculous, that one. And he wasn't... Calvert-Lewin's one wasn't even at any pace. So, I thought the rule was like extra force or whatever the words are. That rightfully wasn't a penalty, but a good break into the box from Udogie, as per usual, showing what a player he is.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be the last time we see that today. Here's Brennan Johnson, Lo Celso. Gives it to Richarlison. Can he hold it?
No, he can't.
Nope. He's lost it. Here's Foster to Amdouni.
Well done, Royale. He's done all right there, to be fair.
Davis into the box. Misplaces a pass. Not sure who's looking for there. Cullen into Foster on the edge of the area. He's looked really strong last 2 games, Foster. Zorore tries to get past Udogie, and no one's getting past Destiny on the outside there. He just barges him out the way. Easy does it. But Burnley looking a bit threatening early doors.
Yeah, sorry. What I was going to say is... a lot of pundits have been saying about Ange and Company, oh, you can't play the Premier League in this style, it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And I love the way that they are just single-minded and absolutely I disagree, and I'm into it.
Do you think whether it works or not, it's the right thing to do to stick that way of playing, and even if it means, Foster challenges Davis, it is a foul, he would have been 1-on-1 otherwise. Do you think, I remember Burnley a few years ago under Sean Dyche, they got relegated, but they stuck with him, and then they went back up, and then they had a really good stretch of seasons in the Premier League. Do you think that's what they're thinking about, Burnley, in terms of they might get relegated, but in long term will stand them in good stead?
Yeah, I think they are, and that's also based on the stuff that Vincent Kompany said back in last summer when he was being linked with the Spurs job. And actually, I think he signed a new deal and said, this isn't about a short-term thing for me to get a better club. I'd imagine at this point, Kompany... what a great ball from a great ball from the keeper.
Brennan on the left-hand side. Brennan on the outside. Oh, he's won a corner, I think, yeah.
That was really good. So basically, Vicario with a very direct ball. That was kind of Edison-like, actually. I like that when sometimes the keeper is willing to just do something a bit different. And it was good touch from Brennan Johnson. But for once, we didn't have men in the box, and Burnley defended it pretty well in the end.
We haven't seen a lot of that from Vicario. It's been a lot of short passing in his time, maybe a few clips to the fullback, but not much of displaying his long passing range that we saw just there.
No, and I love it because it means that defenders will have to, worry about that.
Corner, Pedro Porro. Over everyone's head, it is a goal kick. Yeah, so going back to Burnley, I agree with what you're saying, but the problem for Burnley is, will Kompany see out this long-term project? If they do go down, will he be, out at the first sign of a new job? And that is a problem.
You never know for sure, but you get the feeling that they'll stick with them. But I also think that the way their results have improved, there's a chance they could string a few runs together at some point and get out of it. Maybe try and bring Everton back into it. They've, everyone was saying, they'll definitely be safe, but then they've lost three on the spin, and that can happen with the Premier League. It's about for a team like Burnley. I think a lot of it's about being there or thereabouts still in the mix when it gets to kind of early May, late April, early May. But no, I like the way they play football. I imagine he would stay with them, go down, come back up. I mean, I imagine a part of him thinks, can I replace Pep?
Just trying to outlast, just see when Pep leaves and just wait
that's
there.
brilliant.
It's a good little move from Burnley.
They can have a shot
Foster
here.
It is Odebert. Oh, it's a good save there by Vicario.
It's a save you'd expect him to make, but he didn't take any risks with it. Palmed it away for a throw-in.
Nice shot there. Odebert did score a nice goal the other week away at Fulham from outside the box, curled it into the corner. This time, Vicario's it's a simple save. But
I would have caught that.
They did get the first shot on target of the game.
And a long throw. I'm always nervous for some reason at Spurs defending long throws. Vitinho with it. And it comes.
Ooh, headed on, away from Bentancur. And here's Aaron Ramsey. So back to Vitinho on the right-hand side. Building up a bit of pressure here, Burnley. Cullen.
It's at the moment, as we discussed, it kind of feels like the underdogs, they've got no fear. They've come to us, they're playing their football. And, they play a high press too, so they've been winning the ball back pretty quickly.
If you remember that one tech, ball over the top, and Vicario has it. If you remember the game back in September we played against Burnley, they had a really fast start, went 1-0 up, didn't they? And then,
That's right.
And actually we were struggling for large parts of that first half. But then we just hit them with one moment over the top, and that completely changed the game, and we ended up battering them.
Yeah, and Sonny scored a hat-trick, Madder scored one, and Romero scored one, none of whom are on the pitch.
That's a good point.
Go on,
Brent
Brennan.
Johnson cuts inside.
Lovely.
Richarlison doesn't get it under control. And it's a foul by Lascelles, so it is, and a free kick to Burnley.
So the ball was played into Richarlison kind of around the penalty spot there. I'm not sure whether he was trying to control it or hold it up, but he managed to do neither, unfortunately. He does get a little bit of abuse for his kind of hold-up play, but I feel like it's improved over the last month or so, but that wasn't a good example of it. But hopefully he'll get the ball under next time he's given the chance. It was a nice little ball in from Brennan Johnson, although that's another example I think we've talked about a lot over the last month or so. Maybe Johnson could have had a go at it. He could have tried to swing it into the top right, but prefers that little pass.
I feel like, a bit like how he runs, I feel like when he shoots, he likes to shoot in a straight line. He doesn't do these cold finishes, and that doesn't lend well when you're cutting inside and shooting.
Yeah, he likes a laces shot.
Exactly. That's when I've seen him do the most impressive shots in the Tottenham shirt. When he's on the right-hand side, tries to arrow it into the far corner. That's where he looks most dangerous. But yeah, cutting inside, he hasn't shown to have that kind of finesse kind of finish yet. But maybe that's something he'll grow into at the moment. Here's Ben Davies, lovely build-up play from Spurs.
Yeah, some nice stuff there where Porro, I think, just dropped into the central midfield to get the ball off Vicario and then lay it back out to Davies. That was nice stuff. Bentancur on the ball now.
Back to Emerson and just square pass into Ben Davies. Tottenham being a bit patient here. Giovanni Lo Celso. Lovely pass. Bentancur.
Oh, wow.
It's good football from Spurs.
Beautiful football. He's in.
Can he shoot? It's dragged it wide. Is the offside flag going up?
Unbelievable football. I think he was on.
Was he on? I don't think the flag gone up. Really good. Yeah, it's a close one, but it's really great. One-touch football from Tottenham. Skip plays the through ball to Richarlison. Drags it wide. I feel like he does do that with his left foot quite often.
His second touch just took him a bit wide, and actually he didn't. Just after his first touch, Richarlison, he kind of didn't have the pace to outrun the centre-half who got back into a decent position. And then, he tried to hit his left foot shot into the bottom right-hand corner, but just didn't get hold of it.
Oh, Fulham one up against Rotherham and Brentford one up against Wolves.
It was beautiful football.
Lo Celso, the lovely ball over the top to Brennan Johnson on the left-hand side. He's got space to run into here if he takes on his man. He goes on the inside. He goes for goal. Oh, and it's a good save.
He just did exactly what you said he couldn't do.
And it was a brilliant shot. Credit to him, and he has to do that more often.
Yeah.
If he's got that kind of shot in him, it's a brilliant effort from Brennan Johnson. Cut inside, just on the edge of the area, and he went for the curler far corner. Keeper was equal to it.
He took the corner early.
Quickly. It's headed out. Porro was the cross. It's Udogie now.
That was nice stuff. That was if you're not watching, that was Heung-min Son-esque from Brennan Johnson. Cut inside onto his right foot. Tries to stick it in the top corner. I think a bit more height and it would have been a goal, but the keeper just gets across.
He read my mind, Brennan Johnson.
Yeah,
exactly what we were saying.
He was annoyed at you saying he doesn't do that, and so he did it.
Here's Emerson to Lo Celso. Takes a heavy touch, but keeps the ball away from Odebear. Into Ben Davis now. Out wide to Richarlison, who's taken up that position on the left-hand side for the time being. He's going to take on his man. He cuts inside. He gets the ball in the box. Udogie's there with the header. Doesn't quite get anything on it, and it's cleared. But Tottenham penning Burnley in at the moment.
Yeah, nice passage of play this. Both Royale and Davis kind of in Burnley's half, picking up the scraps as they clear the ball away. That was an interesting moment that Richarlison found himself on the left. Of course, he was comfortable there at Everton and at Watford. And I guess when that happens, that'll be because Brennan Johnson has taken a role in the kind of false nine position just momentarily.
Which he's done at Forest as well, hasn't he? Played in central position a few times. Here's Porro on the right-hand side, linking up with Kulusevski.
That was kind of Kulusevski's first touch of the game, I felt. It hasn't really been in it yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. 11 and a half minutes gone here. Still 0-0. Porro to Emerson. Here's Ben Davis.
I should say, if this game stays like this, it's going to be a long night for Burnley because they're chasing at the moment. A lot of chasing.
Here's Brennan back to Davis. Bentancur, lovely little first-time pass to the Celso, turns but can't pass the forward, but gets into Davis. Johnson into Richarlison.
Got to hold it. This is what does well.
Now, here's Udogie on the left-hand side. Breezes into the box, crosses it, and it's cut out. Only as far to Celso. His pass is inaccurate, and it's cleared away, but only straight back to Tottenham, which is good signs at the moment. We're maintaining the pressure. I'm really liking these little first-time flicks from Bentancur whenever they're passing into him. It's really helping opening up the game whenever he does it at the moment.
It's almost like the direct opposite of what you get from Højbjerg.
Yeah. Oh, lovely ball over the top from Emerson, and Richarlison is just ahead of him. Nearly a beautiful ball from Emerson Royale. Oh, was it Porro? Sorry, my bad.
Porro. If there was a little less on that, so it was a through ball over the top. If there was a tiny bit less on it, then it could have been a Van Persie World Cup diving header thing because Richarlison was coming at it and the keeper was coming out. So that would have been a moment. But it's nice to see those runs being made by. Don't let that bounce, Royal. Well done.
Good header. Here's Kulu into Bentancur.
Oh,
Lovely flick from Bentancur.
God.
And he's got players ahead of him. He's got Johnson on the left-hand side.
Bentancur.
He's got Kulu running. He goes for him. He doesn't quite make the pass, and it's defending by Delacroix. Really good pressing from Bentancur, stopping the pass forward and puts out for a throw. He's started the game really well, hasn't he, Bentancur?
He really has. Let me ask you a question. Why do we have a different font on the back of our shirt in the cup?
I'm guessing
I like
it's
this
the
font.
FA directive. I'm guessing. What can I mean, because I see Burnley as well. It's different. Different. I'm guessing it's the FA Cup font.
It's really nice. It's kind of a font with like lines through the middle. I really like it.
Okay. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not
I guess
bad.
you don't.
I mean, I don't mind it. I don't have a strong opinion about it.
Not bad.
It's all right.
It's all right. Everything's subjective. We're allowed to have different opinions.
No, I don't really have a strong opinion on the font. I think it's nice. It's a bit. You know what? It's very similar. If you remember back in like 2006, our UEFA Cup font.
Yes.
I don't even remember that. It's very similar to that. Udogie on the left-hand side. It's fallen to Lo
Terrible
Celso.
defending.
Here's Johnson.
Oh, we're back to trying to score the perfect goal here. It gets
Porro
out to Kulu.
Kulusevski. Come on, Kulu. What can you do? Cuts inside. Is he going to have a go?
Has
He
to.
is. It's deflected. It's fallen to Johnson, whose header is into the keeper's arms.
That'll count as a shot on target, though, for any of you gamblers out there. You've got,
will.
10 plus shots on target.
It will take a lot of power to get that header in there, wouldn't it? I'm never likely to go in, but Tottenham pressing here. Oh, Cullen nearly caught out by Richarlison, manages to get it back to the keeper. Here is O'Shea.
Lo
Tackle from Lo
Celso loves that.
And a first-time fall from Bentancur. Richarlison on goal again.
Exactly the
Oh,
same.
this time it's a save from the keeper. Exactly the same position as the last time, yeah. Lovely first-time ball from Bentancur here.
Just
Quick
needs
thinking.
to have a tiny bit more on it almost.
Yeah, you're right. But did well just to kind of get it through to him, though. First time.
I wonder if Richarlison finds, because both of those chances have been on the inside left channel. I wonder if next time Richarlison thinks about cutting it back onto his right when he like shaping to shoot, and as the defenders slide in, whether he'll cut it back onto his right and try and put it in the top right-hand corner.
Porro gets it back to Emerson. Oh, dangerous moments. All right, got it back to Vicario.
That was almost the exact same as that own goal from. Was it Kieran Trippier against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, basically. The defender comes back, heads it, and he's so close to his keeper, but Vicario got it sorted.
Here's Ben Davis. He goes long over the top again. We're looking for this ball over the top every time, and Johnson is every time on for it, and here he is on the left-hand side. He goes on the outside this time, cross on his left foot. Good keeping, actually. Catches the key, dives and catches across really well, Muric. Really good stuff from him.
Johnson's a real threat down the left, but what it makes me think more is how much chance there is for someone if we can get a body in who's really comfortable out on the left. Well, obviously Sonny is, but, as an option. Yeah,
I have to say, he's definitely been our most threatening player on the left. He's seen the most ball at the moment. Amdouni with a little flick past Porro, but Emerson, he's dawdling on it. Can he prevent the corner? He does. Gives it off to Kulu.
Oh, nice stuff.
And a brilliant Kulu into Bentancur, and Spurs set off on a counter here. Lo Celso. Udogie got on his way there.
Yeah, he did, but it's all right.
But we still have it.
Royale actually defended that pretty well, then looked like he'd made the wrong decision, kind of almost trying a step over, and then got out of it, and it actually led to some beautiful build-up play from Spurs. I think we're doing the applause, are we?
Oh, yeah,
is this
for
the applause for
young
Harry?
Harry, who sadly lost his life on New Year's Eve.
Big Ange leading the applause there. Absolutely devastating on Primrose Hill on New Year's Eve. What is going on in the world? Honestly, disgusting.
It's lovely for Tottenham to sort this out and pay their respects to him. Big Spurs fan. It's such a tragic story.
Devastating.
Hearts go out to his family, and the whole stadium at the moment standing up and giving an applause. So really nice moment. Really nice moment there. Harry Pittman. Can we score within this minute? Here's Brennan Johnson. It's Bentancur now. Oh, another lovely through ball to Udogie. Oh, so close to finding Kulusevski. Who has found Kulusevski.
Decky's in a good space here.
Into Brennan Johnson on the left-hand side, inside the area. Looking for Lo Celso's first-time effort is over the bar. Nice little intricate play from Tottenham, but couldn't quite fashion a good quality opportunity. But yet again, Bentancur at the centre of our attacking play. Yeah,
and interestingly, Kulusevski found himself on the kind of inside right channel, inside the box there, which we haven't seen him in yet. I think it may be a little bit of him just kind of feeling like he's not getting much of the action out on the right. So maybe make up another body in the box. And it led to Lo Celso having a shot on the first-time shot that was well over the bar in the end, but definitely worth taking on.
Hero0 said, has Skip even touched the ball yet? Like playing with 10 men. I wouldn't say like playing with 10 men, but I do take your point. Skip has been on the periphery at the moment, and as I say that, I think that was him with a really poor pass down the line. He's given it back to Burnley. He's probably been the one who hasn't quite got involved so far in this game, I would say. Still early on, though. I
mean, seeing as we're talking about the Spurs players that the fan base hate, we should probably mention how Eric Dyer's not in the squad, and lots of talk of him potentially going to Bayern Munich, which for me must be Harry Kane saying to them, or maybe them going to say to Harry Kane, what can we do to make you feel more comfortable? He's like, can you bring either or both of Eric Dyer and Matt Doherty over?
We'll pause on Matt Doherty, but they seem to... look, apparently there's set to pay a fee for Eric Dyer as well, which would, considering all the reports are saying we're willing to let him go on a free, and if we got a fee for him, that would be a brilliant piece of business. But what a move for Eric Dyer to get a Bayern Munich move. It's definitely off the back of the last 18 months or so of his performances. I mean, it's quite astonishing that a club like Bayern Munich are in for him, but look, at the end of the day, he is a player with 45 England caps, and he's got a lot of experience, and maybe he's the kind of defender they're looking for at the moment. Lo Celso, bit slack, but Porro is able to sweep up, and a brilliant ball out wide to Johnson on the volley as well. Like a clearance pass out wide from Porro. Here's Bentancur.
Lovely.
Another first-time pass forward to Udogie. Can't quite get it right. Skip chasing O'Shea.
Good pressing from Skip there.
And Muric is able to clear. Yep, nice.
Foul.
Is that a foul on Bentancur? Referee says no.
Oh, Destiny does well.
That's a foul on Destiny. Yep, free kick to Spurs.
The mad thing about Destiny is that he's got all the attributes of a player who's kind of like 5'5", incredibly quick, but he's actually about 6'3", and he's built like he's honestly impossible to get off the ball.
You can't get near. If you get near him, you just can't shove him off the ball whatsoever. Oh, is that a foul by Kulusevski? It is, apparently. Referee blown up.
Clever defending there, just feels it and goes down.
A couple of times it's happened in the last few weeks with Destiny where he's on the charge around that left-hand side. He's almost been like players are just trying to hack him down, but they can't. They just can't do it.
People just bounce off him. It's unbelievable body stature to have with the amount of pace that he's got. And, you know, fair play. He gets enough stick, but fair play to Daniel Levy and the football side of the club to get him signed up on a longer deal so early, because there will be big clubs sniffing around him in a year or two, that's for sure, if not before.
Well, it's going to take a big, definitely with the way Tottenham are going, it's going to take a big fee if you're going to get him out of Tottenham at this rate.
No, exactly.
He's a £100 million left back at the moment.
Oh my God, absolutely. And there's absolutely no need in terms of his career progression at the age of 20 for him to think about going anywhere. If I were him, I'd be looking at Bale's career progression and be like, you know, he's done so much more than Bale did in his first season at Spurs. Don't forget, for about 18 months or longer, Bale couldn't get on the pitch and win. He had too many injuries for Spurs, and Udogie is first name on the team sheet as far as I'm concerned. Lovely from Brennan Johnson there.
Oh, is that a foul on Celso? Referee
it's
says
not only
no.
a foul, but it should be a yellow card. He's gone absolutely...
Oh, is that a foul by Bent? Oh, referee says...
Oh, my God.
Foul. It is a foul, and it is going to be a yellow, is it?
Who's he booking here?
I think Cullen.
Good.
The yellow.
Yeah, so we need to have the first one there, because after he waved play on to Cullen's bad tackle, and then Bentancur clearly saw a little bit of red mist because absolutely flies in on the guy
he went
afterwards.
quite high there, didn't he?
And it looked like
it
it could have been one of those dodgy ones, not like
Gio.
not like he did get the ball, but can't.
He went through him a bit.
Can't do that anymore.
No.
Can't get the ball anymore.
But he did look. He went through him. Though in this day and age, it's a dangerous challenge, and you're going to get the yellow. But yeah, he'll feel aggrieved. He does feel aggrieved. You can see he looks hard done by.
Actually, the way that Spurs are playing at the moment and kind of making lots of little lovely 1 and 2 touch stuff in central midfield, Josh Cullen, who's their captain, he's just been booked. He's going to have to be careful in and around that midfield, because if he's late on any more tackles, he could see a red.
They're reviewing a potential red card for Bentancur.
Oh no, that's what I was worried about.
There was a high challenge, but the play was dead. I don't know how that counts. It's a very odd situation because he brought it back for a free kick, but now it was a bad challenge from him. But
this would be so Tottenham. Looks like.
Well, I wouldn't. He's put his thumb up. No, play on. I think until he plays on, I can't say anything.
Thank God
play
for
on.
that.
I mean, it did look like a high challenge from Bentancur, I have to say, but luckily, referee his wave play on there.
They haven't shown a replay, but to me it seemed like a kind of studs up. He got all of the ball, but his studs were a bit up. But, you know, like we said earlier, after the Dominic Calvert-Lewin one, you're just like...
You never know. I mean, that was a disgrace of a decision. I mean, it just baffles me, the things that VAR decide they need to get involved in and the things they don't. I mean, you know, the Lewis Dunk challenge against, I think it was... Lo Celso, wasn't it? Like how that was a really high challenge, even though he got the ball. They don't, VAR doesn't get involved in that, and yet Calvert-Lewin's one was so innocuous, no one even claiming for a foul, let alone a yellow or whatever. And the VAR decides I need to intervene here. I mean, it's baffling sometimes.
It is baffling, yeah. So,
ooh, nice play from
I
Cullen.
I think both managers will be relatively pleased with how this has gone. Obviously, Burnley will be happy that they're still in the game and they're doing all right, and Spurs definitely look like...
Oh, Skip with a challenge.
Skip's done well there.
And is he won a corner here?
Yeah, he has.
Here's a corner. Well done, Ollie Skip.
Got to give him credit where it's due. He pressed the defender really high up from the goalkeeper, kicking it to him, and put him under pressure. Didn't foul him, which you can easily do, and they panicked and shanked it off for a corner. Now let's get a good delivery in here. The first one was over the back, too far. Porro's been really good with his delivery this season. Let's get another one. Let's get one onto Ben Davis's head or Destiny's head.
All right, Pedro Porro in swinging corner here from the left-hand side. It's not a great delivery into the keeper's arms, and he's able to easily gobble that one up, the goalkeeper, relieve the pressure off the Burnley defence as well.
I'm going to blame the mitre balls for that. They're not used to playing with these mitre balls. Usually got
they're very light. They're too light.
Too light, yeah.
Here's Odebear for Burnley. Haven't really had a spell in our half ever since that opening 5-10 minutes or so. It's been pretty much all Tottenham, but
I
here
thought
they are.
Skippy could have gone for that. Yeah, I agree with
good
you.
Pressing. Ollie Skip wins it hard. The pitch is Kulusevski.
Good stuff there. It's very congested in central midfield, as you'd imagine with Spurs always playing the inverted two, and it looks like Burnley are trying to do what a lot of teams are doing in ours now, which is that kind of diamond in the middle to try and match up.
Well, Emerson looking for a progressive pass, but can't quite find Richarlison. It's a throw to Porro, to Spurs. Porro takes it. Ollie Skip to Bentancur, another first-time pass forward, and a flick by Richarlison. Doesn't quite get it right.
Decky didn't read it, did he? I think.
But it's as if it's a direction. Bentancur, every time he gets it, it's a one touch pass forward every time, and it's working out well.
Lovely player.
Yeah, so good to have him back. And do you reckon? Ange said before after the game again. Oh, it's a bad throw from the keeper, and Porro's intercepted. He's got Kulu to his right. He's giving it to Richarlison. He looks for Kulu. It's not a great, and it's a foul by Kulusevski. It's not a great ball by Richarlison. He said after the game against Bournemouth that it was the plan to kind of take Bentancur off after about the hour mark, and that was all we could expect from him in that game. Do you expect something similar here?
Yeah, I would give him an hour today as well, and just get it into his legs, and not overly risk it. But already, I have to say, after 25 minutes, he's not kind of blowing the same way he was after 20 minutes or 10 minutes of that first game.
Well, another good header from Emerson there. He's won a few of those so far. But here comes Vitinho for Burnley. Bren Johnson pressing. Down the line by O'Shea. Picked up by Udogie, but his touch is a bit off, a bit loose. And Burnley win a throw there. Yeah, I think at the moment, nothing to worry about, but obviously we haven't broken the deadlock. It's still 0-0, and one mistake, one counter-attack, and if Burnley do take the lead, it does definitely change the perception of the game. But I think as things stand with, Tottenham definitely look more likely to get the first goal at the moment. Yeah. That's for sure.
Oh, good chance here.
Here's Amdouni to Odebear on the left-hand side.
Show him the outside. There it is.
Goes on the outside, Odebear. Doesn't quite get the shot off. Gives it back to Charlie Taylor. Gets the cross in with his left foot. It's a good ball in.
Well done,
Headed
Ben Davies.
away only as far as Zarouret. And
well done,
Richarlison with a good tackle and puts out for a throw.
Thought Porro did well there at right back as well. Showed him the outside. The winger had to go on the outside, and by the time he'd taken his touch out there, Porro had got in the way.
Good defending there from Tottenham. Here's
and good to see Richarlison working back. I mean, I was actually going to say after Richarlison made a bad pass a minute ago, just tonight so far his decision making has been wrong. He's been in some good positions,
good tackle,
but he just hasn't made the right decision at the right time so far.
Yeah, he's been very involved, hasn't he? But that is something that we know with Richarlison. He kind of we know with him a lot of the time it's like he needs like 3 or 4 chances before he gets one right. But
it's going to be a goal.
Burnley. Doesn't take a right touch. Oh, it's fired over the bar from Amdouni.
I don't know why they're looking for onside. He was about 6 yards onside.
He looked well onside. It's beautiful foot from Burnley. A lovely through ball from, I think it was Zarouret. Well onside. He doesn't take the finish first time. His touch is all wrong.
Got to give some props to Ben Davies there. He keeps going back. A lot of people would have just stopped. If you look at Porro and Royal, they just stop. Ben Davies is like, let's see if he has a good touch. He doesn't and gets himself on the line. Vicario comes out. We're lucky, but in the end, some good decision-making from Ben Davies.
Best chance of the game there goes to Burnley. What a chance that was. And they'll be kicking themselves if they don't get the first goal here after that miss. Here's Destiny Udogie on the left-hand side.
I'm going to have to ban you from talking about Burnley scoring the first goal. As soon as you did it, they got an absolute stone-cold chance.
Oh, bad pass there from Ben Davies. But Lo Celso coming in, but the challenge isn't strong enough.
Stand up.
And good challenge over Destiny. And he gets it to Brennan as well.
Doggie's ridiculous.
Come on, Skip, run into the space, man. Come on. Here's Emerson. Definitely a warning sign for Tottenham, though, with that chance.
It was.
Kulusevski down the line to Porro. Looks to leave it for Skip, and really good defending from Delacroix of Burnley. Goal kick. So, look, we haven't got the first goal, and that definitely will set alarm bells ringing with that chance. Not too much to panic, the fact that they didn't score, but what an opening that was.
It was a beautiful dink. Yeah. So basically, the guy on the edge of our box, can't remember who it was, but he nutmegs Bentancur, and then the ball falls to someone who just dinks it over the top. It was really beautiful, actually. They should have done better with it, but didn't, thank God.
Yeah, Amdouni, who's actually been in decent goal-scoring form recently, Zeki Amdouni for Burnley. Fired that one over the bar. Just a touch that put the ball behind him, luckily for us, and was kind of leaning back when he shot. Here's Vitinho.
Stand up.
Well, Aaron Ramsey is a bad ball, and that's a foul on Lo Celso. Referee stops it. Free kick to Spurs.
Gio's got that thing in him that Lamela had as well, which is they love to kind of try and tackle around the wrong side, almost sneak up on the defender or whoever's got the ball, and go around the wrong side. And quite often it makes them look really silly, but when it works, it really works.
No, another poor pass from Davis. This time a good challenge by Lo Celso. Is that a foul on him? He's stayed down here, Lo Celso. It doesn't look at all comfortable.
But Burnley in a good position here.
Zarouret, it's a poor ball there from Zarouret, and it's gone outplayed for Burnley. Is he going to need treatment here?
I think Lo Celso might have got a little studs on him somewhere here. And yeah, do you see what I mean?
Oh, that's a bad one.
So listen, the commentator just said no intent, and I agree, but Lo Celso, I think, is making more out of this in the hope it goes to VAR, which is something that players are doing at the moment, and I hate it. I'm not just slagging off Lo Celso, but they do it because they know in slow motion those can look like red cards, but really it's just his follow through from, trying to get his foot on the ball, right?
But yeah, 100% agree, but at the end of the day, I've seen challenges which if a player doesn't react, the VAR doesn't even look at it yet. If a player goes down, the VAR will take a look and get, ups the chance of a red card.
Look,
so
it's gamesmanship, but I'm English. I don't like it.
But at the end of the day, it's the VAR's fault. If the VAR shouldn't be judging a challenge based on the player's reaction, but we all know it's natural, like human instinct to kind of do that. So. Yeah. That's the reality. Here's Lo Celso.
Pedro Porro just did amazingly then.
Really a back heel clearance there. He's looking for the opportunities. Good pass out wide to Kulusevski. Here's now Bentancur out wide to Porro again. Can he get across in the box? He can. Richarlison's in there. It's over his head. Johnson's at the back post. Didn't quite expect it, I don't think. He went with his left foot and skewed it wide. Great ball in from Porro.
Beautiful.
But didn't quite catch that one right, Brendan Johnson.
I think you're right. I think he wonders if the defender's going to get something on it.
Or he might have been offside as well.
Yeah, he's a step offside, I think. And in the end, he tries to hit it too hard. He needs to use the pace that's already on the ball and just kind of guide it. Dare I say it, if we had Sir Harold of Kane on the pitch, he would have just used the pace on the ball and guided it into the bottom right.
Ball's gone all the way through. Davis is going to mop up, though. Back to Vicario.
You don't outpace Ben Davis. Said nobody ever.
Good ball there from Vicario out to Porro.
Yeah, lovely weighted ball, that one.
And he wins a throw.
It's a good game, this. I have to say, for the neutral, it's a good game. It's pretty end-to-end, some nice stuff being shown.
As we take this row, we got 1,600 people watching, but only 189 likes. Let's get those likes up, guys. Come on, let's get to 1,000 likes. We'd really appreciate it if you just scroll down, smash the like button. It really does help support the stream and support the channel as well. Helps the stream be seen. So I would really appreciate it. Takes 2 seconds to do. Just scroll down and smash the like button. And also, look in the title of the video and go subscribe to Barnaby Slater as well, if you can. Let's get back into the game. It's Pedro Porro.
Skippy.
Oh, Tottenham playing about with it and are pressed, and Burnley win it hard the pitch, but Spurs come away with it. Ben Davis mopping up. Porro's pass isn't the best, but it's going to fall to destiny.
I think it was Gio, wasn't it? I think it was Gio's little pass, I think. But
Johnson.
Nearly had
you're right, it was Gio.
Just been a couple of occasions so far. That wasn't one of them where Gio's just dallied on the ball a touch too much and Burnley have pressed him and got the ball back. But I do think, if we're going to cut open Burnley, it'll be through Gio or Bentancur in central midfield, kind of maybe then getting it out to one of our wide men.
Emerson Royal to Kulusevski. Cuts inside to Porro. Goes out wide to Lo Celso.
This is interesting. Kulusevski's come inside into the attacking midfield position.
Lovely play from Lo Celso to skip. Dogi looking for the through ball to Richie.
So congested in that central midfield. They're really trying to play perfect football in there, and Burnley have a lot of players in there to try and get it around and through. Excuse me.
All right, here's Lo Celso. Porro into Kulusevski.
Nice.
What can he do here? Cuts inside Lo Celso. Plays it to a Doggy. Back to Lo Celso. Oh, that's a foul, is it?
No, it wasn't. He won't give that. He's trying to buy it. He's trying to buy it, and I think the ref knows it.
He's staying down there, Lo Celso.
Well done,
but Destiny wins it back because Lo Celso's back on his feet, and it's a throw into Spurs. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Lo Celso did try and buy it. Doggy's throw back to Ben Davis on the halfway line. Here's Emerson to Porro, and he's been forced back to Vicario here. Ben Davis inside his own half, looking for support, and they're pressing quite well here, Burnley, but he's gone down the line to Johnson. First time pass to Lo Celso. Brilliant pass by Lo Celso.
See what I mean? So Gio's just a little off it with his first and second touch there, and they're really quick onto him, actually. Interesting.
Here's Vitinho.
Oh, good ball.
Foster, and this time Bentancur intercepts. Really good interception there from Bentancur. His skip.
I think both teams are kind of intercepting those kind of balls in between the midfield lines pretty well. Certainly Rodrigo Bentancur with an excellent interception there.
He's looking for support. Bentancur looks for Lo Celso, and he's got Johnson. A little slip there from Vitinho, and here's Johnson now on the left-hand side. He's into the box. It's not a great ball. No one really there. It's away.
Do you see what I mean there? When I talk about how much more comfortable Johnson seems on the right, I think on the right he just wants to get that cross in so early, but on the left he feels the need to cut inside and look for an easier pass.
I don't think he trusts his left foot as much as well. You can see that. I don't think his left foot's even bad, but he just doesn't trust it as much. Oh, lovely switch of play there from Bentancur. Sweeps out to Kulusevski, who just about keeps it under control. Into Bentancur, into Udogie. It's a brilliant piece of play from Tottenham. It's Johnson.
Come on, Brennan, drive at him.
On the left-hand side.
No.
Oh, he went for the pass.
Why are they...
Yeah, he should have went for the space inside. I think Udogie was making a really good run to draw the defender into that space, and he didn't read it, Johnson. And
do you know what that felt a little bit like to me? Like a bit like... So was Brennan Johnson a bit like, considering he'd had that shot earlier and it did really well, why didn't he just have the confidence to then go, bang, I'm going to get one touch out on my feet and have another go and drive through it? But instead he saw Destiny make the run, and the defender went with him, which freed up the space in the middle as well. It's almost like he decided early, as soon as he touched, he decided what he was going to do, and then as it opened out in the next few milliseconds, he couldn't change his mind, which is a shame.
The ball's gone to... Udogie wins the header. Bentancur under control.
Oh,
brilliant play again from Bentancur. He's been
well done, Skippy.
Foul on
well
Skippy.
done,
Referee
Skippy.
waves play on. Can he find a pass? He looks in
No,
behind
that's the same thing has happened there. The same thing has happened. The game has changed by the time you've decided what to do.
He doesn't adapt to it. Very frustrating.
He did the hard bit really well.
Anyway. But then he didn't look up really and just look for the new option. Here's O'Shea to Vitinho. He's been pressed, but he's done well to get out the press. There's a foul by Richarlison and a free kick to Burnley.
35 minutes gone.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go. Still 0-0 somehow in this game. I don't know how there hasn't been a goal, but both teams definitely been threatening.
I think, to be fair, we haven't really made the keeper work a lot. Like, it's just Burnley are, packing that area just outside their box with players, and we're trying to be absolutely perfect with the 1- and 2-touch intricate stuff, and we're not cutting through them at the moment.
This game, you do get the feeling with this game, once that first goal goes in, the floodgates might open, especially if Spurs get the first goal. You get the feeling that all of a sudden the chances will start to flow a bit more. It's a foul by Taylor, surely? No, referee says
Porro
no.
did well there, actually.
It's a throw into Burnley.
He got his body in a good position here. Sorry.
Here is Ramsey to Taylor again on the left-hand side, and is that a throw to Spurs? It is. I think got lucky with that one, actually. I think that might be a Burnley throw.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a Burnley throw. I'd say it's a bit of a, just from the sound of it anyway, it's a bit of a kind of, dare I say, a bit complacent atmosphere. There's not like a huge amount of chanting or anything like that.
There was when Van de Ven was warming up, but other than that, it has been fairly quiet. Everyone's expecting the first goal to just come at some point.
Yeah, I think Vincent Kompany will be very happy with how it's going at the moment.
Oh, Bentancur, lovely little trick
Give
past
it easy.
Ramsey, but he overruns it. And again, it's a throw to Burnley, actually. The tackle was back off Bentancur. It's a Burnley throw here.
Don't think we've mentioned Dane Scarlett back from his loan at Ipswich. He's on the bench tonight. Obviously, Valise out for at least a couple of months with I think what was it, a medial strain of his knee.
Then he's injured his knee ligaments. I was saying a really bad injury for him. Such a shame. Just as he was starting to get more minutes, but yeah, once one door closes, one opens. Porro's pass intercepted there, and Scarlett must see this as opportunity now. He's kind of backup striker for he's being promoted here to backup strike all of a sudden. So, it's not the best back pass. The Vicario's in a bit of trouble. He's able to get there first and clear it. And that foul by Lo Celso again. He's spent a lot of time on the floor here, Lo Celso. No foul.
It's almost like watching Gio Lo Celso.
Yeah, big opportunity for Scarlett if he can get some run out maybe in this game, especially if we need a goal.
And then probably also worth mentioning that Jed Spence, who's been released from his loan at Leeds, Daniel Farker, their manager, has done a press conference today and basically alluded to the fact that Spence's professionalism is not what it needs to be. And actually, a lot of Leeds fans, I know, thought that Spence has been playing really well, but clearly over the Christmas period, based on what Daniel Farker said, he's, I don't know if he's not been turning up on time or not turning up at all, or thinking that he's a bit much for, a bit too good for it or whatever. But they've sent him back to Spurs, and actually that rings true with something that one of his former managers says back in the day, which is like you'll either go right to the top or you'll be found out. And in terms of your attitude, and at the moment it seems like the latter, which is unfortunate because I know a lot of Spurs fans really rated him. But for me, I have to say the fewer times that I've seen him on the pitch for Spurs, kind of similar to, a bit of a throwback, but similar to that kind of way we used to see Freddie Canute, has such a laid-back way of running that it's almost like you think he's not trying, and maybe actually he's not trying.
Yeah, but the reality is every manager at Spurs hasn't really given an opportunity, isn't it? And I think there has been these rumours or murmurings about an attitude problem with Spence. Obviously, Warnock's mentioned it. Now Farke said it himself. It's a massive shame because we saw at Forest, when he got a young player of the year in the Championship, what talent there is. We saw in that FA Cup tie actually against Arsenal where he really made his name in that game. And he's never really kicked on. And it seems like his attitude problems or lack of effort, I guess, has caught up with him at this stage, and it doesn't seem as though he's got a future at Tottenham at this stage. We saw what Ange said, didn't we? It's kind of went round on social media how he said if there's one bad apple in the change room and with attitude problems, that causes a lot of problems, and he takes the attitude of a player much more important than the quality. And when it comes to Spence, if Ange has got that philosophy, I don't think it's gonna, unless he really changes up the way he is. It's going to be hard for him to get a look in under Ange, I don't think.
Well, of course it is, because, they'll be, they send him out on loan. They're looking for him to show how good he can be on the pitch. And if you come back from a loan having pissed off the loan club, he's not going to be quick to put him in the team, is he?
Oh, another good ball from Vicario.
No, you're never going to get that, Johnson, unfortunately.
Another good ball from Vicario, though, over the top to Brennan.
Yeah, to be honest, we've been having a lot...
Oh, Johnson's picked up a loose ball here on the left-hand side.
In the box.
Can he help him, anyone? He's gone down the left. He's crossed, and it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, you said it earlier, doesn't really trust his left foot. He did go down the outside that time, but he never looked comfortable, and the defender had made up more than enough ground to get out for a corner. The corners so far by Porro on this side have been poor, so they can only improve as far as I'm concerned.
Come on, just need one good set piece.
Bit of atmosphere coming now, bit of chanting. I like that.
Pedro Porro to whip this one in. All right, into the near post this time, and it's away. Doesn't beat the first man. Another poor corner from Pedro Porro.
Turn. Yeah.
And there's also a classic outside of the boot pass, this time to Vicario.
Yeah.
Here is
Gio. He doesn't like his right foot.
No, it's a lovely switch of play there from Gio to Kulusevski in space.
Skip is making a lot of runs, but no one is interested in picking him out, to be honest.
Here's Ben Davis. Ball over the top. Really good pass there from Ben. Oh, no, I was about to say I thought Johnson was there.
Assumed Brennan Johnson would be there.
Was there, and that was wrong to assume because no one was there, so it wasn't a good ball from Ben Davis in the end. And a goal kick here. And look, this game's petering out a bit till half-time, it seems, to be honest, which is a massive shame. And Burnley will definitely be happy with that.
Yeah, it's interesting what you said earlier, actually. If it starts getting towards, 70, 80 minutes, whether Burnley would actually chuck some players on and really go for it on the basis that they probably wouldn't want the replay either.
I reckon they will. I reckon they'll have a go. I don't think they want a replay at all. Here's Ben Davis. Ooh, Emerson. Oh, he goes for it.
Well
and
done.
he went for the run.
Now he's got to pick someone out. Well done.
He's done well. Giving it to Brennan. He just about keeps it in. Well done, Brennan. But his pass back to Emerson.
My God.
Tottenham trying to play their way into trouble, but played their way out of trouble in the end. Here's Vicario to Bentancur now.
When we were doing some of our best stuff earlier in the game, Udogie was all over it. He's just not really been in the game for the last 10, 15 minutes.
Here's Gio Lo Celso inside his own half. Looking for a forward pass, but no one obliging at the moment. Here's Bentancur. Back to Emerson. Kind of slowed down a bit, the Spurs favour. Here's Ben Davis trying to quicken it up. Charging forward here, and a good ball into Rishi, and his flick.
Oh, and he doesn't hold it up, and now we're completely out of position, but they've
Destiny.
Oh, as well.
Brilliant. Is that a foul on him? Referee says no, play on, but he just beats him anyway. Here's Destiny.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's a foul on him. Free kick to Spurs.
He's so good. He's so
unbelievable.
good.
You just can't get the ball off him.
But also he can go left or right. He just did a little kind of one of those Cruyff flicks on the run to take him in the opposite direction. So hard to defend against. This is our first set piece, actually, in terms of a free kick to a chance to get it into the box from a dangerous area. It's just on the kind of inside left channel. Looks like Lo Celso was standing over it. I wonder if Porro will come on over and whip it in towards the keeper. Just get it in that little corridor of uncertainty and get some people running onto it. Don't just chip it into the keeper's arms, please, Pedro.
Hopefully it's not a commentator's curse. Let's see. Pedro Porro with lining this one up.
And stay on side as well. Here it comes.
Into the back post,
exactly
and it is clipped into the keeper's arms. There we go. Muric has it, and yeah, look, at the moment, Burnley looking fairly comfortable as the half comes to a close at the moment. They have been fairly comfortable for the last 10 minutes or so. Here they come, though.
And that is a classic Lo Celso tackle. He loves that sliding tackle where he just uses it almost like the weight of his legs to try and win the ball, and the ref wasn't going to have that. Lee Dixon on co-coms has been talking about how poor Spurs have been. I'm not sure I'd fully agree with that.
Doesn't mean terrible, but yeah, obviously we haven't got that opening goal. We haven't maybe been
real
great.
Chance for Burnley here.
It's a shot by Zaroury, goes for it from 25 yards, 30 yards.
Should have laid it off to his right. He had someone free on the right. I think he was a little selfish there. Hits it over the bar.
Well, taken quickly. Here's Ben Davies, who's asking for support. No one there. Vicario now clips it out wide to Brennan, but it's being intercepted by Vitinho. And is that a foul by Skip? Referee says
Skip did neither nor there, to be honest.
And here's Foster looking for the through ball. And Emerson picks up. Here's Lo Celso. Is there a counter for Tottenham? Here's Bentancur. He's got Foster up his arse.
Oh, he's done well there, Bentancur.
And he sees him off. Foul by... Oh, it's a lovely pirouette. It's going to be a foul. Oh, he actually played it through. Referee says you can't take the quick free kick from there. Here's Lo Celso to Porro. Bentancur.
I think Bentancur.
Oh, lovely ball into Richarlison. Can he turn?
Well.
He does. Looks for a skip.
Nice.
He goes out wide to Kulusevski. Chance here for Tottenham if he can find the ball right. His pullback is poor. And it's away. And here come Burnley. He's beaten Bentancur. Oh, I'm doing something brilliant. And he goes for Foster, but Emerson does really well, positions himself fantastically to prevent the counter there.
Rio Ferdinand-esque from Emerson Royal there.
1 minute ad. Wow, 1 minute added on. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Wonder if it's different in the FA Cup if they've got the...
They don't do the proper added on time. Here is Bentancur to Davis. So we're 30 seconds into the 1 minute added on.
To be fair, there haven't been a lot of stoppages that I can think of. No one's really gone down properly injured. Only Lo Celso pretending a few times.
Yeah, that's a good point. Here's Vicario to Emerson.
At the moment, I have to say, I don't want to put the jinx on this, but this feels like a lot of those cup games we've gone out at, you know.
Oh, it's a lovely situation to Porro. There's one more chance in this half now. Brendan Johnson on the left-hand side. Good tackle by Vitinho, and I think that will be that. It's half-time.
Maybe it's lucky that was that, because they were in on the transition there, to be honest.
Definitely on the counter there, and looking on the play. It would have been maybe a 3-on-3 there. So, look, half-time, 0-0 going into the break. It's not been the most vintage Tottenham display, I think it's fair to say, albeit we probably have had some opportunities. Looking at the stats going into half-time, 67% possession for Spurs. So, look, had a lot of the ball, 7 shots, 4 for Burnley, 3 shots on target, only 1 in terms of corners, 4 corners to Spurs, none to Burnley. But if you look at the big chances created, none for Spurs, and that one big Amdouni chance for Burnley, which they did miss, and that definitely was the best chance of the first half, wasn't it? So if you're assessing that half-time, look, Spurs obviously going into this favourite, so you do expect us to dominate possession, probably have more shots than Burnley, and we have done that, but probably haven't made the most of a lot of the possession that we have had.
One thing I'd say is it's lucky Ange did play his strongest team, because if we'd played a weakened team and had that performance in the first half, you might have actually got some boos at halftime, because the fans would be kind of wound up that it would seem like we weren't taking the cup seriously. And the performance has been much of a muchness. But what I'd say is I think Burnley have set their stall out. Company, clearly a good tactical manager, knows to fill up that central midfield where we like to kind of dominate the ball. And we've only really found space out wide, and we've made wrong decisions kind of almost over and over again. And Deki Kulusevski hasn't really been in the game, and I think we need to get him more in the game. And we've got Richarlison in the number 9. We scored goals like this. So get him in the game on the left and tell him one touch, get it out of your feet, cross it in. Maybe Richarlison can get his head on it, or Brennan Johnson past him like he had that chance at the back post. But yeah, so far it's been disappointing, but I think it'll be a lot more open when it gets to kind of 60, 65 minutes, and chances will start to come at that point, because Burnley have had to put a shift in terms of pressing us and closing us down. And most, like you said, mostly we've had the possession, been working them over, and they won't be able to keep that up for the whole game. So I think if we don't concede in this game, we'll win the game. But Burnley have looked dangerous, and like you said, have had the major big chance of the half. And look, you know, they are decent on the transition. They've got a bit of pace, and we've seen that they've got someone with the ability to play a lovely dink through ball in. So they are elite players. They're Premier League players. Anything could happen. But I'm confident if we don't concede a goal, we should win this game and put it to bed. And be interesting to see, you know, who he brings on in the second half. Obviously, we've talked about Van der Ven. I don't really need to think about him at the moment, but I wonder, you know, if this game isn't going anywhere and say, Skip's not really in it, getting to 60, 65 minutes, and he hasn't been so far, would he take a risk, drop Bentancur, or change Bentancur around, bring Jamie Donnelly on? A bit of creativity, someone we haven't seen, a chance to kind of maybe show what he can do. But yeah, so far disappointing.
I've got a feeling he's done this a couple of times. I've got a feeling if it's not working, he might go to 2 up top. We've seen it. I remember in the second half against Fulham in the Carabao Cup, he brought on Scarlett, partnered him with Richarlison. I remember late in the game against Brighton as well, he brought on Valise, partnered him with Richarlison as well, put Son out on the left. So I do wonder if we're really looking for a goal late in the game, and we're really looking to really force the issue, whether he does bring Dane Scarlett on for one of the midfielders and just really goes for it, puts 2 up top. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. Let's look at some of the comments then at half-time. Boston Spurs fan says, guys, what do you think of Johnson's performance so far for Spurs? I've been absolutely frustrated with him.
He's out of position. He's out of position.
I think he's been our brightest attacker, though, it's fair to say, isn't it?
I think... Yeah, out the 3 up front. Yeah, I think if anything good is going to come from Spurs anytime soon, it's going to come through Udogie or Bentancur. They, to me, have been the players who've looked like when they get the ball, they get it on the half turn, they're looking to open out. Johnson, I would be tempted to switch him back to his more natural position on the right, although obviously that totally contradicts what I just said about Kulusevski getting those crosses in. But I don't know, is there a way of moving Kulusevski inside into that 10 role and maybe Gio somewhere else, or just maybe being a bit more attacking with the 3 in the middle? We're getting a lot of the possession, so maybe bring on some more creativity there somehow. But Johnson is uncomfortable on the left, I think. Yeah,
I think maybe a way of doing it is what we saw against Aston Villa in how we started that game. You have Gio next to Kulu, but with Bentancur behind, you have Hill on the left, you have Johnson on the right, and Rishi up front. Maybe that's what maybe take Skip out, and maybe that's one way to go in this game as well. I think that's definitely something to consider.
Yeah, what I would say is the good thing is I do feel confident that Big Ange is seeing what's going on, and he will not kind of wait around to try and make changes. He'll see that Company has, done a bit of a number on us, and he'll be thinking of ways that we can try and get around it. Because although we've had a lot of possession, we've not made chances, really.
Not made a load of chances. I don't know if they have the XG stats for this game. Let me see if they got it here. They don't, and I can't see the XG stats.
XG doesn't count in the FA Cup.
Exactly. Let's see some more comments here. Oh, we just got a super chat from Alex Humphrey. Says Johnson has been more dangerous than Kulu. Kulu looks like a non-entry. I think entity. It means. Yeah. Swap them. Yeah, and this is what I was saying. I'm surprised, to be honest, that midway through the half, or even at any stage in the half, he hasn't considered just swapping them just to look at their dynamic and see how that goes. Because we know Johnson's a lot more comfortable on the right. Kulu has been pretty much out of the game, to be honest. I know Johnson has been our brightest attacker in the game, but I'm surprised that he hasn't looked to swap it even for a 5-10 minute period just to see how that plays out in that first half. But maybe in the second half he'll consider doing that.
Well, what Kulusevski's certainly been doing is kind of coming in from that wide position and trying to find space in that attacking midfield central position and almost kind of making it even more hectic in there than it already is. And there are a lot of bodies in there already. So, look, Angel's going to have to find a way. It'll be interesting to see what he does.
Dan O says, Skip, not as poised on the ball as Sarr. He bugs out, he kicks it as some half-assed passes where Sarr will shield the ball, turn and find a better pass. Obviously, it's been a big opportunity today for Ollie Skip. We just saw actually one of his better moments in the game, played a really nice through ball there to Richarlison. But what have you made of him overall? Do you think he's done all right, or have you been a bit frustrated with him?
Yeah, I haven't, he's been making a lot of runs off the ball, which players are unwilling to find him with. And I do wonder whether that's an element of them thinking, if I get the ball to him, is he going to have what it takes to kind of one-touch it back or play it round the corner? And there doesn't seem to be a lot of trust from his fellow players at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me at all, actually, based on what we've seen this season a little bit, if maybe he brought Højbjerg on for him. Højbjerg has looked his best in some of these cameos off the bench. And I don't know whether then he would maybe move Højbjerg back into that 6 and move Bentancur upwards further up the pitch.
You have to consider Bentancur probably. I don't know how long he's going to last, so that's definitely something else to consider. Wolf Mauler says, Lo Celso was awful to my mind. Doesn't look fit. Turns over. He's so left-footed. It's painful to watch. He can't make those quick 1-2 passes as he has to take the extra time to get it on his left foot. I mean, I don't think he's been that bad. He has spent a lot of the game on the floor, it's fair to say. He has been looking for fouls and free kicks. He obviously did earn a yellow card for Cullen. But I think he's been bright. I think he's got on the ball a lot. But yeah, he hasn't definitely been at his best. But he has definitely threatened to open up the game and do something special.
I think he's done all right. I think they've just pressed him really hard and he's lost the ball a couple of times. So I can see why you'd get frustrated from that. But I think that's just good work from Burnley, and nobody's kind of, even Bentancur's lost it a time or two. So it's happening. Sometimes you've got to give props. Burnley are doing it really well. Are they going to be able to keep up that high level of press for 90 minutes? That will remain to be seen. And, as with any game like this, the changes will make a big difference. I think the first goal will make a big difference in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's one thing else to consider as well, because obviously this is our first game without Sonny. I think it's our first game without Sonny this season. And it's not going to play. It plays into the narrative a lot. Obviously, we haven't scored a goal yet. And the longer that goes on, the more that the narrative that, we're not one-man team, but, we rely on Sonny very heavily to score goals and to be that attacking threat in the front line. The longer we go on a run without scoring, that narrative is definitely going to get louder and louder, isn't it? So really hope that in that second half, we just put that to bed immediately, because people are, as long as we're not scoring, people are always going to go, well, you're missing Sonny.
Yeah, I mean, he's our elite striker, top level, world-class player. And I think we've scored something like 20 games in a row, something like that, maybe even more.
No, 32 in the Premier League anyway.
Okay, so 32 games in a row. So if we weren't to score in this game, then obviously that would be the narrative. But I think the key is we need to be making Richarlison some chances of the ilk in which he's been scoring 5 in the last 5. That is kind of 6-yard box chances coming from crosses onto his head. And so far we haven't been able to do that. And if anything, I think we've just been trying to be too intricate, and maybe we just need to we need to simplify it a little more, get it out wide, get some earlier crosses in. Even if Brennan Johnson, when he gets it out on the left, opens it up onto his right and gets some of those crosses going in towards the back post for Richarlison to get his head on that side.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because obviously we've seen the link-up of the last few games between Richarlison and Brennan Johnson, with him being on the right, and we've seen the couple of goals Richarlison has scored. So do you think maybe Johnson being on the left not only has hampered him a bit, maybe is also hampering Richarlison a bit?
I do, and I said it before the game started. I think if anyone should stay in their most comfortable position, it should be Johnson, because he's younger and he's more raw. Kulusevski should be able to kind of find solutions a bit better than Johnson is managing to at the moment. Something that I'd like to see if we were brave to bring Kulusevski out to the left, something I imagine that would happen is he would kind of run at the fullback, play an inside ball, and then go for the return, and then he'd be at the byline with his left foot to cut it back, and I could see Richarlison scoring like that. But Brennan Johnson at the moment doesn't seem to be making the right decisions out there. I'd be tempted to move him back into his natural right position. And if he's not going to do that, then I'd be saying to Kulusevski, stay out wide then, get the ball one touch and whip those balls in for hopefully Richarlison to get on the end.
Hung Diddley says, skip off Van der Ven on pushing Porro into midfield and put Royale at right back. This is one thing I was actually thinking about. Just a bit similar to how we've seen Trent in recent weeks play in midfield, even not just the inverted role, but we've actually seen him start in midfield in some games.
6, yeah.
Do you think Porro could do that role? Do you think he has the ability to do that? I think because with his ability on the ball, his passing range, is there any reason why he can't?
I think he could, but I've just never seen it. So it's one of those ones where I'm not sure that a vital FA Cup match is the first halfway through is the first time to try something completely mad. But yeah, I mean, he's technically an incredibly gifted player, so I'm not saying that he couldn't do it, but also, your success and ability in a position often comes from the amount of time you've played it. It's not quite as simple as, you go in that position, suddenly it. Porro's good because in the right back role because he likes to clearly see the pitch all ahead of him, and he's able to then come in inverted a bit because he knows he's going to be facing in a similar way, and he's always got to think about going backwards into right back if needed. So I don't know. It's not that he couldn't do it, but I just wouldn't probably try it for the first time now.
Darren Fearon says, Sims, stop comparing Porro to Trent. Porro is not that good on the ball. I think Porro is pretty damn good on the ball, to be honest.
He's technically a good player.
Yeah, like with his switch of play, his passing range is phenomenal. And I think he's probably second to Trent in terms of right backs, I can see, in terms of technical ability and his ability on the ball to pick out passes, his vision. I mean, I think it's astonishing. Yeah, I know Trent is another level. He's a generational talent. But Porro has been phenomenal. And I think if you can't see how good Porro is on the ball, yeah, he's not as good as Trent, but I think he could probably fill in midfield if need be.
But that's why YouTube is so great, isn't it? Because you can have an opinion and then 10 seconds later you can have someone slagging off your opinion. Look, it's all subjective, isn't it? It's a difficult game at the moment, so we're feeling a bit frustrated, but I do feel confident if we can get the first goal, Burnley will have to come more at us and then we can find some extra space. I think Vincent Kompany's done well so far, and as we talked about at the beginning of the game, it's a real free hit for them. They're the real underdogs, and I have to say, these are some of the games we've really struggled in over the last few years. And we've had Conte and previous managers talking about, have we got the mentality to get through these difficult games? And hopefully that's what Ange is preaching in the dressing room now. We've got to show that we've made a change and we're going to find a way.
Yeah, 100%. Mick M says, the key is crossing from out wide, which we haven't done.
True.
Because Kulu and Brennan need to swap. And yeah, that's exactly what we've been talking about. Serdar Avkin says, I feel the lack of balance in the middle is really hurting us. Usually with Saar, Basuma and Maddison, or more recently with Kulu in the mix, we have more intent and have the quality to hurt teams. Do you think there's maybe a lack of intent in midfield?
Not sure if it's intent. I'd probably go back to Skip. I don't want to make Skippy a scapegoat, but he's just a bit seems a bit like a runner in there at the moment. He's not really involved very much and not really being trusted to be given the ball. And the few times he has got the ball, it kind of bounces off him a little bit. His touch isn't quite there. Something that I've said about Skip for a long time. He needs a run of games. He's not in the rhythm of the Premier League, and in this case, obviously playing against a Premier League club in the FA Cup. So, he seems a little bit redundant in there. Yeah. But he did play that nice ball through to Richarlison, but he had some space around him then. It's whether he can do it when he's in the tight spaces. You see the difference with him and Bentancur. Bentancur's so comfortable in those tight spaces, just happy to just turn it round the corner. He scans, obviously, a lot better than Skippy does. So, I don't want to make him a scapegoat, but at the moment, that is something that we're going to have to kind of deal with because, he's not causing Burnley any trouble. All right, the players are out for the second half here. I don't think there's been any subs that I can see, but I will have that confirmed in a moment. But the second half is about to go under. I think we're just waiting for Burnley to come out the tunnel, I believe. I can see Spurs are there lined up, ready to go. What's your prediction for the second half? Or do you reckon we're definitely going to win this? Got a feeling there might be goals. I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs. I am going to go 2-0. 2-0 Spurs. We're going to keep a clean sheet. I think Burnley have had a few chances, but I can see as the game goes on, then getting more tired. And I think that threat and the counter, I think, is actually going to diminish even more as the game goes on because they've had a few chances, but they've had to work really hard for those chances, I feel, Burnley. Yeah, they have. I mean, also important to let you guys know there will be a fan reaction show after this game, and if we go out of the cup tonight, that could be something pretty spicy. But definitely make sure you're staying tuned for that. But yeah, I agree. I think the game will get more open, and hopefully when it does, we'll be the team to have the kind of the class and the what it takes to be clinical to score some goals. But Burnley have looked good. They've looked impressive, and they're a dangerous team, a well-coached team. And they will be growing into this game. They'll have had some trepidation at the beginning of the game. Are we going to win this game? Is there any way of winning this game? Are we going to get turned over? It's half time now, and they're thinking, hold on, we can make some changes also if we get tired. And we're putting Spurs under a little bit of pressure, certainly making it difficult for us. Yeah, and as you say, they have got some of their first teamers on the bench as well, don't they? To bring on if need be. And that makes it all the more positive. They're still level because they've got some decent players. You've got the likes of Redmond on the bench, like Trezor's a big player for them, Jay Rodriguez. So if things are going against them, or even if they're still level, they could definitely make some changes. All right, second half is about to get underway here. Should say Kulusevski definitely lining up still on the right. Yeah, Brendan Johnson on the left. For me, a big part of this is we need to find a way to make Richarlison some chances. At the moment, he's just mostly been back to goal. Burnley are making a change, though. Who is that, Sim? Foster's gone off. And number 34 for Burnley, Bryn Larson. Okay. Jacob Bryn Larson, who's a winger, is come on. So taking off their main attacking threat, albeit he has had a quiet first half. But he has gone off, and Bryn Larson has come on. All right, second half is underway here. Tottenham kicking off from left to right now, and Spurs have the ball. Let's hope for a big, big second half here in our FA Cup third round. And shooting towards our south stand this time. Here's Decky. I wonder what Andrew said to them at the break. No changes, though. Maybe he's happy with how it's going. I'm sure he'll have suggested some kind of tempo-based stuff, but... we've got a few players back from injury on the bench this time, but I wouldn't say the bench is glistening with talent in terms of people who could come on and really change the game. It's not like we've got Madders on the bench. Oh, nice ball from Decky into Lo Celso. Through to... I thought he was going for Ishi. Went for Skip in the end on the right-hand side. Skip looking for the pass, went for Porro. Here's Kulusevski back to Porro. Lovely touch from Porro on the right-hand side. Can he get the ball in? He can. His cross is blocked. And Porro's calling for some more... fan interaction. He's calling for more support from the fans who are still inside the stadium getting their beer. Most of them haven't even made it back out yet. Here's Bentancur to Porro on the right-hand side. Do you see what I mean, though, about when it comes into Bentancur's feet, it's always 1 or 2 touch. It's never slow. And that's the difference. And I think as Ange gets more of his players together, as in the people he wants in the club, most of the players will be like that, I think, will have that ability. I think that's what he's all about, that ability to be 1 and 2 touch. He's got to go long here, I think, Vicario.
Vicario being pressed. He's giving it to Udogie, but he's...
Udogie for once slow there.
Being tackled by Cullen into the box, looking for Bryn Larson. Or Udogie again, second best to it. Here come Burnley. Is that offside?
Yes.
Yes, he is, Vitinho. And a free kick to Tottenham.
Yeah. I've been quite impressed with their high line so far,
Oh,
Spurs.
quick ball forward from Davis. Here's Brennan Johnson.
Now run at him, Brennan.
He's got Rishi
run at him.
Support. He's got Cooley. Goes on the
has.
outside of Shea. Come on, Brennan into the box. Looking for Rishi. It's not a great ball again, and it's away. Could he have gone further?
Yes, I really don't know why he did that so early that time. He'd kind of done the hard yards. Well done.
Good tackle from Porro on Odebear. Here's Kulusevski on the right-hand side. Into Rishi. Back to Kulusevski. In the box. He goes to the back.
Yeah, Decky had 3 around him there.
Blocked. There's going to be another corner.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson did what we wanted him to do in the first half a lot, which is take him on the outside. So a quick corner taken.
Porro to Kulusevski. He's in the area here. Kulusevski pulls it back to no one. Only as far as Lascelles. So could he have a crack? He does. It's a save from the keeper. Easy one, and it's offside, is it? I think someone was in the way of the keeper. Was
I thought
offside,
it might be
maybe.
more Kulusevski.
Oh, maybe Kula was
from
offside.
the first ball.
Yeah, you might be right there.
But yeah, so going back to Johnson, so he'd taken him down the outside, and then I think what he should have done is slowed the defender up, and then looked up and saw who's there. But what he did instead was kind of didn't look up, just put it into an area, and Richarlison hadn't even made his run across the defender yet. But a good first couple of minutes for Spurs.
Yeah, I think definitely an early goal is definitely in the offing here. Well, definitely what he's wanted, but still 0-0 at the moment. 48 minutes gone. Muric with the long free kick towards Davis. He wins the header. Bentancur clears it away. His Delacroix, his up and under header is not great, but not challenging. Oh, Ben Johnson's picked it up. Tries to find Richarlison, but Shea can clear.
Did you just call him Ben Johnson?
But, oh, did I?
I think you accidentally called him the disgraced Canadian 100-metre sprinter or the West Ham United fullback.
Apologies for that, Ben. Or Brennan.
You've done it twice now. Brilliant.
Here's Lo Celso.
Oh, that's nice.
Dogie to Bentancur, opening up the space.
To our playmaker, Emerson Royale, bringing it forward.
That's exactly the play you want in spaces. Kulusevski skips
nice
on for the run. He goes for Richarlison.
Little dink.
Oh, he's fallen to Rishi.
Oh, he should have passed
he should have played it to Brennan. It's offside. Offside.
I thought, so the ball came over from the right. I thought Richarlison could have done a little back header.
I think the flag went up.
Now Burnley breaking
Rishi
through.
offside. Who would have thought? Who's Odebear? Oh, he's wrong side of Kulu, and he's inside the box here, Odebear, and Emerson does some really great covering.
Matthias Sammer-esque from Emerson Royale there. He's got a bit of strapping on his right knee, actually.
Here's Rishi. Is that a foul? Oh,
he's done brilliantly,
Kulu,
Rishi.
Really well. Kulu
Brennan's got to make him a run here.
Doesn't have a lot of support. He's holding the ball up here. He's got Skip in support. He's got Johnson in support. He's giving it to Rishi. He's got Lo Celso there. Oh, it's a terrible ball from Rishi. It's fallen back to him, though, luckily, and he's giving it to Kulusevski.
He's going to want this on his left.
Cuts inside, and he shoots Kulu, and it's wide.
It wasn't a million miles away, as the commentators said.
It wasn't a bad effort, but lack of options meant he had to go for the shot. Decent effort, but never really troubling the keeper there.
Can I say something that I get fed up with? If you're watching in England on ITV, it really winds me up how so many broadcasters put Arsenal legends as the co-commentator. So tonight it's Lee Dixon. I think Arsenal fans would call him a legend. Usually on Sky it's always Alan Smith. Really winds me up because they're so quick to just abuse Spurs.
Yeah, so quick to say we're poor and we're having a bad game and we're gonna lose or whatever. I agree.
That's good from Rishi there. Good hold-up play from Rishi.
Bentancur out wide, and here come Tottenham again on an attack. Here's Kulusevski in space on the right.
All on his own.
One-on-one with Charlie Taylor. Cuts inside again. Again has an effort deflected this time, and the keeper has it. Again, doesn't make the most of that opportunity. Tottenham or Kulusevski. Here's Amdouni. He's got Bryn Larson in support. He goes back to, I think that's Zorore.
Do you remember when Decky Kulusevski scored his goal against Forest on his right foot? Hold on, Burnley just attacking now. 1 second.
Odebear cuts it back to Cullen's shot, and it's wide.
Right. So after he scored his goal against Forest on his right foot, he did an interview where he came out and he said, I should actually take more shots on my right foot because I'm better at it. And he's having a few opportunities in the beginning of the second half to take it on his right foot around the outside of the defender and just make the defender think a little bit more, because so far it's been very transparent what he's going to try and do, and it hasn't succeeded. Spurs are giving away a free kick in their own half now. Burnley will try and put this into the box undoubtedly.
Yeah, first chance here for Burnley to really get some players in there in the box from a set piece. Although I don't know if that's for 3, it used to be for Burnley.
I'm going to touch some wood after you've said that.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh God, I don't know if I've jinxed it now. Here comes...
Spurs keeping their high line about 19 yards out at the moment. I wonder if any Premier League teams do actually have if I put one hand in my air at a set piece, it means something, or they just all do it.
Everyone just does it. Just a habit.
Come on, Keeps.
Yeah,
well done, Vicario. Now, who's on? There.
He gives it to
It's the playmaker. Emerson
charging
Royale at full
forward.
pace. He's done well there.
Gives it to Kulu.
Oh, and he's made the run. Emerson has kept going. No one's at centre-back.
Fantastic. Here's Kulusevski. What can he do? He's waiting for support, but
Royale's got a nosebleed, quickly running back now.
gives it to Skip.
Comes out to a dog. He's not been in this game much second half yet.
Here's Brennan on the left-hand side. Cuts inside. Gives it to Bentancur. Good pass out wide to Porro.
Once again, Burnley getting back in their shape
Got
pretty
players
quickly.
in the box here if we can whip it in.
Yeah, true.
Got 4 players here. Kulusevski to Porro. And here's across the face of goal. It's headed away by Delacroix. It's a really good header.
That was
but
better.
It's to Bentancur, who shoots. It's deflected. Going to be a corner. No?
Goal
I thought
kick.
it was deflected, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was better actually, because Porro made Kulusevski a run, played it down the inside to the byline, and a good little cross from Porro just didn't fall to a Spurs player. But that is what we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Good defending there from the Burnley centre-back. Muric with the goal kick here for Burnley. It's been all Tottenham so far.
I like that from Emerson Royale though. He won the ball, he made a break, got it out wide, and he thought, I'll keep going with that. Why not? Because really, in terms of when Burnley have been defending, they've just been kind of clearing it long, so it shouldn't be something that was a worry.
Oh, long ball forward from Porro, but he's overhit it, and it's going to go straight.
It was like Richarlison wasn't even watching that.
Frustrating. Give the ball straight back to Burnley. Here's
the press is
Delacroix.
on here.
Oh, is Bentancur getting there? Doesn't quite make it.
Burnley have done well here.
Oh, it's a good play from Burnley. They played through our press. Amdouni out wide to Odegaard.
Well
but
done, Ben
Davis
Davis.
is coming over and covering. And he's actually found Porro as well.
Brilliant.
And Spurs win the throw. No, they don't. No, they don't. It's a throw into
Ref's
Burnley.
got that completely wrong. But that was brilliant from Ben Davis. Really covered some great kind of transitional play from Burnley. He played some 1- and 2-touch stuff out from defence. Really kind of Spurs-esque, actually.
Yeah, they do play some lovely stuff at times, Burnley, don't they? Here's Delacroix. Spurs pressing, but again, Burnley able to play through it. Here's Taylor.
Stand up.
Skips over to him, but doesn't quite win the ball. But Odegaard,
That's good.
picked it up. Come on. Benteke also looking for Johnson.
Go on, Rishi.
Looking for Rishi. Is he going to get in behind? Doesn't quite reach it.
I wish
Delacroix
Richarlison had an extra yard of pace.
Yeah,
He's
would've
quite
reached
6
that one.
out of 10 pace-wise, isn't he?
Yeah, 100% agree.
Oh, lovely
Porro.
from Porro.
Oh, lovely. Beats Odegaard on the outside.
That really was
He's
a turn
looking
of
for
pace
support.
from Porro.
Brilliant
What
clip
a
ball into Lo
ball.
Celso as well. Lo Celso lining up a shot, decides not to go for it, and it's now slowed the move
That's going to
down.
frustrate in the comments because he brought it round to his left foot, but we're
Yeah.
still on it. Brennan Johnson.
Cuts inside,
No.
goes for
Maybe.
goal, and it's a shot on target, but easily into the arms of Muric.
The reason I was saying no there is because he was going backwards when he had his shot.
It's always going to be more difficult
Yeah.
when you're doing that.
But we're making some space, some nice little stuff, some intricate stuff. Some showing
Yeah.
pictures of the fans now starting to look a little bit nervous. But this is the cup. You just got to find a way. We just got to find a way.
The longer we don't score, definitely going to get a bit more tense in that stadium the longer it goes on. Here's Emerson Royale. Kulusevski. Nope, way back to Emerson. Ben Davis now. Looking forward, but goes back to Emerson Royale. Burnley in an organised shape at the moment, a bit of that 4-4-2 shape. Here's Kulusevski
Nice
into
ball.
Bentancur. Lovely first-time pass from Bentancur again. Is Porro. He's got Johnson at the back post. He's played it early, but another good block from Charlie Taylor. Blocks across. Spurs play quickly, though. Here's Kulusevski.
He might go.
Goes on the inside. He's got a bit of space. He looked to lay off Lo Celso, but his pass wasn't great. But luckily for Spurs, the clearance falls to Ben
Ironically,
Davis.
the time you wanted him to shoot, he was like,
Picked the wrong decision,
yeah.
Wasn't a great lay-off.
But-
Great ball from
beautiful.
Lo Celso. Flicks into Johnson. It's a good move from Spurs. Richarlison doesn't hold it up.
No, it didn't go to him, actually. It was
Oh,
towards
slip.
Skip in the end. There have been a few slips on this pitch, but Spurs now everything that comes through Bentancur is good because he does it so quickly. Some of the other midfielders, by which I mean Skip in particular, if it comes to him, it's a bit slower.
Porro in space on the right-hand side. He crosses it into the box. Back post. Johnson's there. He mishits the volley.
Oh, I wondered if that might have
well wide. Good chance for that. Great ball again from Porro. Yeah, a long time to watch this, Brennan Johnson. And just miscues it.
That's a difficult technique, this.
Yeah, it would have been a fantastic goal if he got it in.
Actually, I wondered if it might have bounced and Skip might have had a chance to head it in at the back stick.
Coming up to the hour mark here.
Yeah, but this is good. It's been a good little period of possession because Burnley are having to, they're under pressure and they're just clearing it long most of the time now.
And I told you, here come the comments. Kaylee Davis saying, I'm really missing Sonny right now. And you're going to get that as long as it's 0-0. Here's Kulusevski in behind. Good covering from Delacroix for Burnley. Making sure. Oh, it's a great play from Charlie Taylor into Cullen. And he's played it into...
Skip can be a bit braver there and maybe put a challenge in.
Here's Bryn Larson. He's got Cullen on the left. It's a good block from Bentancur, but it's fallen back to Cullen. And here is Ramsey to Odebear's offside. There's an offside somewhere in there. Good line from Tottenham.
I love that. Back in the heyday of Pochettino, we would catch teams offside all the time, and it feels like this Ange ball really does similar stuff. Just being higher up the pitch is so much better.
I 100% agree. Here's Pedro Porro looking forward again.
Porro's started to look dangerous in this second half. Actually, I'm gonna put a little line next to his name. That's where I think they've started to look dangerous.
Ben Davis looking for Rishi.
Rishi's got to be better there. He's got to come towards
it's a foul
it
as well.
You might book him here,
It's been a bit frustrating this half, Rishi. Hasn't really been threatening Burnley.
Ball's coming into his feet. Sometimes I don't get why he's got his body in between the ball and the defender. Just put your foot on the top of the ball.
We are making this up. Brian Hill coming on. I'm guessing it's for Ollie Skip, maybe. Odebear is going off for Burnley as well. And on comes Brownhill.
I fear it's not. I hope it's not for Bentancur.
It might be Bayayim. That's a good shout. It might be Bentancur. Yeah, so Hill has come on. And
Lo
Celso. Wow. So Kulu in the 10.
Yeah, I think so.
Johnson back on the right. And
yeah. Good shout.
And Hill on the left.
Good shout.
All right. That could be a good swap for us.
Got to win that. Well done.
Here's Emerson for Burnley.
Stand.
Here's Skip. Intercepts. He wants the foul. Referee says no. Taylor beats him on the left-hand side. Is he going to whip in a cross? Skip gets
stand up.
Goal side to him. Rewind blocks across as well. Well done, Ollie Skip.
Yeah, so Brennan has come back over to the right. And that's where a lot of our goals have come from recently, especially Richarlison. So let's try and get him in on that right-hand side. Kulusevski, who I do like in that 10. What I would say about Brennan Johnson is he's not always the best at tracking back, though. So that might lead to a little more space for Burnley on their left-hand side as well. But let's see.
How do you see Brian Hill impacting the game? Now we have two players on their stronger sides going on the outside, now out wide.
Yeah, I mean, he's a worker bee. We need something to happen from him in his Spurs career to have a chance of staying at the club. But he'll put his work in. He's already slipped once. So a lot of players slipping. I wish they put a longer stud in.
Hopefully, maybe it could help Richarlison as well if they're whipping in crosses in like that from the outside.
Oh, fantastic.
Is that offside? No, Adogi with a lovely tackle.
Oh, Skippy. He's just slow. He's just a millisecond slow to everything.
Hopefully, Kulusevski gets more involved as well. Now he's in the number 10 position. A lot of people in the comments very confused why it's the Celso gone off, but...
Well, you've got to say, Bentancur, I doubt, is going to play the 90, so at some point soon we're going to be left with a Skip and Højbjerg axis with Ben Davis behind, which is going to go mental in the comments.
Especially if we lose. Brownhill now. Free kick in the centre circle. This is definitely a very hard-fought game at the moment.
Yeah, Burnley growing into this.
Zaruri on the left-hand side. His cross to the back post is well over here. Played Vicario to... No, he's looked to take it quickly, but decided against it.
Yeah, they're pressing three quite high up here. I think if you see again, they're kind of like, you can have it if you want it, Royale. They're kind of more comfortable with him having it, and he's going to give it out to Porro. Now he needs an option.
Oh, Porro's pass is poor, but it's fallen back to him, and again, he's lost it, and here's Zaruri. Brownhill. Oh, his pass to Cullen is poor.
Skip's... I don't mean to make Skip a scapegoat. I like the kid, I do, but even his pressing, he's about half a second too late. disappointing so far. I hope he proves me wrong. Come on, Skippy, get some rhythm.
Big last half an hour for him. Can't see him being taken off at this point. He looks like he's probably going to get 90 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Porro's pass again, putting Porro and Emerson in all sorts of trouble, and he's forced to put out for a throw. Not the best few seconds for Porro there.
If you're Burnley now, Spurs have started making a few mistakes, and you're growing into the game. You're starting to believe. Honestly, oh, God, I've seen this game so many times.
Here's Cullen. It's Delacroix.
That's it. Okay, back to their keeper and Rishi pressing him. See what I mean? Skip there. Do you see what I mean? Like
it's half a yard off it. Oh, it's a good ball forward from Zorore, but Ben Davis does really well to intercept there. Here's Porro. He's going to look forward quickly, goes to Skip. He's passed back to Emerson. And Emerson's been fouled. Free kick to Spurs.
I think that pass back is going to wind Ange Postecoglou up no end because Skip got it in a lot of space in central midfield. He's not on the half turn and he just passes it straight back and puts Royale under pressure.
Yeah, it's not how we want to play. Here's Porro. Emerson on the halfway line here. Back to Davis. Tottenham got everyone forward now. Back in their position. Good ball out wide to Davis. Brighton Hill's first chance to impact the game here. On the left. He goes out wide to Decky. Is he offside? Referee hasn't blown up. His Decky back to Hill. And it's going to go all the way back to Davis. Goes back out wide to Decky, who's on the left-hand side. Back to Davis. Here's Emerson.
Oh, well done,
Drives
Emerson.
forward. He's looking for support. Goes out wide to Porro. Back to Emerson. Is he going to whip in across here? Goes for Brennan. Brennan rolls his defender and a good ball across the face to goal, but it's actually good defending from O'Shea. Just gets a foot on it and prevents it going to, I think there might have been Brian Hill there. Here is Emerson.
Oh, nice turn,
nice
Pedro.
roll by Porro. Into
Lovely.
Johnson again. On the right side,
bad
his
touch.
is just over hit. But still looking to get in those dangerous positions, isn't he, Brendan?
He's still raw, but that was a great position. It was a good little pass from Porro. I like the little link up between those two.
Just
he didn't need to take the first one. He could have
just taken it forward straight away.
Rolled it, yeah. Unlucky.
Any lip readers there? I would have seen what you said.
Yeah, Brennan was a bit annoyed with himself.
It's fair to say. Charlie Taylor is down injured right now for Burnley. So I'll use this opportunity to say, everyone, we've got 2,200 people watching. Big up to everyone in the chat. I appreciate you all being here for the watch along. If you do scroll down, smash that like button. We really appreciate it. We've got 500 likes at the moment. So just 25% of you have liked the stream. So I'd really appreciate if the other 75% go and smash that like button. Takes 2 seconds to hit the like. It's absolutely free to do. Really does help support the channel, and it helps the stream be seen as well. And if you go on the title, go and subscribe to Barnaby Slater as well. Really appreciate that, and help support him as he helps to grow his YouTube channel. So
damn right.
Yeah, if you want to say anything about YouTube.
Yeah, well, so my channel is, you'll see in the title, it's at Barnaby Slater _, but it's the Spurred On podcast daily. Daily Spurs content. And also, if you like podcasts, if you like listening to podcasts when you're out running or you're driving or whatever, go over to the Spurred On podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify there as well. But yeah, most importantly, get those likes in and make sure you're subscribed to We Are Tottenham TV. Yeah. There's a bit of a delay here because of an injury, and that will cause some. Yeah, it could be dodgy shoulder there. But 64 minutes gone. This will add some added time on at the end. I've got a feeling it's going to be a little bit of a harem scarum last 20 minutes or so for Spurs. There's going to be some
double
stress.
Sub here. Double sub for Burnley. Who's this coming on? So you got a
Belgian international.
Yeah, the winger. I can't remember his name. Trezor, that's it. Trezor. He's also been quite good for them recently. Here is Emerson to Ben Davis. Out wide to Brian Hill.
I thought he could have gone
down the line to Udogi. It's a really good ball. He's got Richarlison in the centre. He goes to the back post to Johnson. Volleyed, and it's a good save from the keeper. It's a really good move from Spurs.
Terrific effort from Johnson.
Really good effort. Good volley. Porro's touch is a bit overhit, and here come Burnley on the counter, and it's a really dangerous moment. Bryn Larson, he's got two defenders with him, though. Emerson does really well to cover, and Brian Hill can mop up. Good play there from Emerson Royale.
Really good. To be honest, I don't want to jinx it, but he's looked good today.
Yeah, he's mopped up really well. Got to give him credit.
But that was good. Brian Hill down the left-hand side to a good run from Udogi.
Great ball from Destiny
and as
well.
we were saying at half-time, need to get some crosses in. It was a good ball. And Johnson, to be fair, does everything right at the back stick. Gets it down so it bounces up, and he just didn't quite get enough power on it, but that was more like it.
Really great ball from Destiny as well to pick him out. Here's Bentancur with a through ball. Oh, might found Rishi there, but Kulusevski intercepted it.
Yeah, Rishi tried the little rollover flick to get into.
Destiny has it. He's
Class.
into Bentancur. Lovely little turn from him and a really powerful.
Oh, what a ball! Oh, that
I
keeper's done well.
Really good sweeping from the keeper. I really thought it was a great ball from Bentancur. Brennan looked like he was in there.
Burnley now making 3 more changes.
Oh, that's a good volley. Good save from Juric, to be fair. Does well, Brennan. All our chances seem to fall into him tonight.
Tell you what, he had a lot of time as well.
Could he have taken it down?
He could have taken it down, but maybe the defender would have come at him. But it was a good strike. Nathan Redmond. Was he playing for Norwich in that game?
Oh, you know what? It's a good chance he was.
Should remember that was on penalties, of course. This game can't go to penalties. It would make for a difficult replay at Turf Moor.
Yeah, do not want that.
But I'd rather it than go out of the cup. So
that's true. Yeah, I think a replay would be worse for Burnley than for us. Here is Porro with the throw. Come on, Tottenham, let's get this bloody opening goal. So
beautiful.
Dakil, Trezor, and Redmond. So they're going to have more pace out wide now. Davis with a lovely ball out wide to Brian Hill.
He's hugging the touchline, Brian Hill.
Take him on.
No, it's not his game, is it? He's not got pace to really take him on. He's more of a touch out of his feet and whipping across. It's all right. Let's remain patient. Come on.
Emerson Royal into Skip. Little pass around the corner to
Better
Brennan.
from Skip.
Here's Porro back to Brennan. Goes back to Emerson Royal. He's looking for the pass forward, but nothing on really, and he's still got it. Can he find? Look at Kulu maybe. Goes to Skip, out wide to Porro, back to Skip on the right hand side. Can he find a ball in the box? He finds Brennan. Oh, is that a foul? Referee says no.
Well, that's an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see if there's any contact there, because if there's contact, they might well give this.
Let's see. Skip with a ball. Good ball in the box there by Skip. Brennan has it. Touch.
That's a penalty.
I'll tell you what.
In the current climate, that's a penalty.
Brennan gets there first. Does Brownhill get any of the ball?
No.
I don't think he does.
That's not the right angle, though. We need them to see the other angle.
Are they gonna? Looks like then. Are they still holding it up? I mean, for me, it's soft. I agree with you. Current climate, that could be given.
Current climate, I think from that first angle, that could be a pen. It's very similar to that one the other game. What was the game? It was Aston Villa Burnley. Aston Villa won a penalty. No, they haven't given it.
Yeah, no penalty.
That's one of those ones. It wouldn't have been overturned had he given it, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't want.
Oh, what a ball for Ben Davis!
That's brilliant. Here's Brian Hill on the left.
He needs help. He hasn't got the pace.
Back to Destiny Udogie. He's got Brian Hill in support again. Brian Hill cuts inside and he's forced backwards to Ben Davis.
He's a bit like a puppy dog, Brian Hill, almost like he's not fully in control of his legs yet, you know? Or Emerson, dangerous. Well done.
Lovely ball to Bentancur, who plays it back to Ben Davis. Decky on the left-hand side. He's gone over the top. It's a brilliant ball. Decky's in on the left.
Has he got the pace?
He
hasn't got the pace for it.
Oh, it's good keeping.
No. You're never getting that.
A lot of I think the Spurs fans think that the referee pointed to the spot, but he's pointing for a goal kick.
I think it might already been off the pitch as well.
Yeah, it's not a penalty. As I was saying with that penalty before, I personally don't want to see VAR getting involved in those incidences. I think it's ridiculous when they do. Like, they're such soft incidences. That one...
He does slap him in the face, but I don't think you're going to get that.
Nah, never. Mario Rizcala, big up to you, becoming a member. Right, Emerson, another header won. He's had. Wonder how many headers he's won tonight. Seems umpteenth time.
Well, Burnley in a decent position here.
Here comes Trezor on the left-hand side. He goes on the outside. Trezor shot. Great defending from Porro, and he celebrates it like a goal. Brilliant stuff there.
Might be one of those situations where you have to block the comments in case they see something before we do now.
No one's going to see anything before we do it live.
It's getting to that stress level.
In the ground, you can't see anything.
Yeah, good point. It's ITV, isn't it? It's ITV. I keep forgetting. Come on, boys. Stay strong.
Is it their first corner of the game, maybe?
Maybe. Burnley corner in swinger.
Trezor. He's got a good cross on him. It's a good ball, but Vicario claims. Come on.
And an early throw out to Destiny, who has got a man on him, but he sees Richarlison. Now Rishi.
Come on, what can you do, Rishi? Burst forward. I said that. Oh, it's a challenge. He's right. He gives it to Udogie.
Oh, my God.
No,
it's
Udogie's
fine.
going to get there. Pulls it back, and it's going to be a corner. Good break from Spurs.
He gave Destiny a lot to do there.
Yeah, a bit too much. The weight of pass wasn't great.
It was good stuff from Richarlison, though. Broke through the midfield with the ball, kind of evaded a diving challenge. Now, can we get a decent corner in now? Our first decent corner of the game.
Come on.
They've taken it quick.
It short. Brian Hill back to Udogie. Here's Porro. Into the box. Back post is overhit. And Muric has it. It's not a great ball from Porro.
Porro's delivery, usually so good, has been so poor tonight.
Disappointing. Here's Burnley goalkeeper Muric. Yeah, into the last 20 minutes now. It's still 0-0. No one would have thought that going into this game, that this would be 0-0 with 20 minutes to go. Now
Don't let that bounce.
Oh, Davis has let it bounce.
Wow.
He's giving it back to Bryn Larson, but Vicario comes and mops up. It's getting to that stage where one mistake for Tottenham at the back and we could be heading out here. That's the scary thing. Here's Kulusevski. Come on, we don't want to replay here. Oh, they're not on the same wavelength, Kulu and Johnson. And it's a poor pass from Kulusevski. Does he think about another change maybe?
Options: Scarlett, Donnelly, Højbjerg, Sessegnon, Van der Ven, Dorrington and Phillips.
Yeah, it's slim pickings really.
These games against teams where they have nothing to lose, but they're still Premier League teams, it's so
dangerous.
difficult in the Cup, man.
Bentancur's header. Can't find Rishi.
Come on, we've got to make ourselves a gilt-edged chance. We haven't made
Emerson,
one yet.
Don't make a mistake.
Oh,
he
he's
does
done
well.
Oh, no.
Oh, he goes it back to the keeper. Bryn Larson was on his back, but luckily he was able to deal with it. Vicario goes long towards Brendan Johnson, and the header from
Rishi.
Dackley. Rishi can't win it. Delacroix. He's played it back to the keeper. Muric, he's been going to be pressed by Rishi. Oh, he just
saw
about
that
evades
coming,
him.
to be fair. Does a Cruyff turn.
Delacroix, oh my word. Johnson nearly nips in ahead of him. But
now
Burnley play out their press really well. And here they come. Amdouni.
Well done, Brian Gill. That was better. Better press from him.
Cullen out wide.
Oh, they're taking some chances here, Burnley, but they're doing well.
They're playing really quick football, and they're playing for our presses. Vitinho, it's a bad touch. Brian Hill tries to pounce on it, but can't quite.
Good pressing from Brian Hill.
It's good pressing, though, making it difficult for him.
But that's getting the crowd up as well.
Darashay looking for Redmond. It's a good touch from Redmond, and here come Burnley.
Great tackle.
Great challenge from Davis.
Oh, unlucky.
Fallen to Cullen, and Skip wins it back for Tottenham.
No,
It's Porro. He goes forward
maybe.
long. Johnson's on the right-hand side. There's a bit of space. Can he get there ahead of Delacroix? He can. Rishi's in the centre. He tries to cut it back, but it's been blocked. And Brendan Schwass. He's missed his touch.
Come on, boys. Got to find a way here. You've got to find solutions. You've got to find a way.
God, this is tense now. This is definitely tense. Al Dakil.
Yeah, you wouldn't have bet on this being
here's
0-0.
Brian Hill on the edge of the area. He's going to have a crack.
He's done well there, Brian Hill.
Get the shot off.
Now give it easy now. It's a good turn.
Really well. He
He's done the Scotty Parker.
Side. What's he going to do? He gives it to Udogie.
So many men around the ball.
Can't get the ball in. Here's Bentancur, who's still on the pitch with 15 minutes to go. Pedro Porro on the right-hand side. Cuts inside. Plays it back to Emerson. We've got a lot of men in the box at the moment.
Yeah, so Burnley, though. Burnley are 11 behind the ball now. They've been in their shape really well all day, but this is what's happening better now. The centre-backs are making some runs forward when they pass the ball off as well.
Come on. Here's Udogie. Bentancur. Emerson out wide. Kulu can't get there.
That was a poor pass.
Intercepted it, and he comes forward with it. Bryn Larson on the left. Oh, it's a good ball. Out to kill.
Brilliant from Bentancur.
Challenge. Spurs come away with it. To be fair, I can't remember too many chances they've had in this second half, Burnley.
Nor have we, though.
Half. Yeah, we haven't. We've made a lot of the running. Yeah, I can't remember too many. I mean, Johnson's had a few, hasn't he? But
nothing gilt-edged. Nothing gilt. We've not cut them open at all. We're lacking a bit of kind of...
Kulu. Bentancur with a mishit pass. But he gets away with it. He's still got it. just about deals with it, Bentancur. And here's Emerson back to Bentancur. And he goes...
Too early.
He plays the poor ball
Too early.
Kulu just hasn't got in the game today, has he? Even in the number 10 position.
No.
Hasn't really got involved. It's been a bit frustrating game for him. Whatever you want to say about Johnson, at least he's been, getting on the ball and trying to do something.
Yeah, commentators just made a good point. Richarlison's covered a lot of ground for not many touches. It's true. We haven't got him into any good positions, really, since the first 10, 15 minutes. And certainly none on his good side. Burnley playing themselves into this game now.
Ball out wide to Trezor. And, he looks bright at the moment.
This is where Johnson needs to be helping him. He needs to work harder, Johnson, here.
Trezor to Al-Dakir. Oh, we're lucky. Overhit the pass. Goal kick. And is there a sub coming on?
Johnson is not as desperate to sprint backwards as he is forward.
There is a sub. Højbjerg skip. So is Bentancur getting 90 minutes here then?
Well, Bentancur still looks good, to be honest.
He does, yep. Maybe no need. So Bentancur is staying on. So skip off, Højbjerg on. Hopefully he can give us a bit more energy.
Surely Højbjerg now, he's going straight into the 6. So we're going to see Bentancur a little further up the pitch, I think.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Vicario to Emerson. Porro, can he turn? He does. Gives it to Bentancur, who turns and fouls.
Oh, he's giving it to them.
Yeah, he's giving it to them. So fouls Cullen. Free kick to Burnley. So how many subs have we made now?
Bentancur's slightly rubbing his knee, which I don't like the look of. He's limping a bit here.
So we made 2 subs.
Don't let that be an injury for Bentancur's knee that he's not kind of admitting to. 77 minutes. I promised goals in this one, and I was completely wrong.
Broke your promise.
Yeah.
Unless we're in for a mad last 13 minutes. Here's Brownhill. Back post. Can Brennan get there? He can't win the header. Udogi does.
Brian Hill at the back post. Gets a big header on that.
And here's Udogi. Here's Højbjerg.
Brilliant.
Looking for Kulu. It's a good ball. Kulusevski's going to keep this in.
Brilliant from Højbjerg.
Come on, Kulu. He's got space and time here. He's got Højbjerg at the back post. He goes for Richarlison and Højbjerg and Richarlison in the box. Oh, he's missed his touch. And the keeper gets there. Oh, Rishi.
Oh, brilliant from Porro. Won it back. You've got to give it to Decky. You've got to give it.
No.
Oh!
Pedro Porro!
As I said, you've got to give it to Decky, and he sticks it in the top bin. An absolute knuckleball.
Goal! What a goal!
You know it's a good one when Sim flies off his headphones.
Oh my word! Oh my word, Pedro Porro. We know he has that in him to bang it in from 25 yards.
We have been shouting at Spurs players for the last month to take some shots from outside the box. At that point, I'm saying, play in Kulusevski, and he knuckleballs it into the top left. He was the one who won the ball back from a quick throw-in from the keeper. This is great.
Quick thinking, brilliant interception from Pedro Porro. And he's like, you know what? I've earned this shot. And what a finish that is from Pedro Porro. and he does that. Oh, Pedro, what a hit. What a hit. And this is what I was saying about him. He's got all the quality you want in a fullback on the ball. He's got unbelievable strike on him. And that goal, he's been threatening to score that goal all season. And what a goal that is. 20, just when we needed it. Just entering the final 10 minutes. What a hit from Pedro Porro. And Spurs are in the lead here going into the final 10 minutes. What a big goal that is for us. Big goal.
Absolutely huge. Someone needed to take this game by the scruff of the neck, take a chance, have a go, something. We've been just a little bit off it. Pedro Porro stepped up, and now this is going to be interesting last 10 minutes.
Just as I was mulling over that Richarlison missed touch, and it looked like he missed a glorious chance, Pedro Porro wasn't milling over it. It seemed as though the rest of the Spurs players were. They were kind of waiting for Muric to take an age on his to get the play restarted. But he tried a quick throw. Porro was the only one alert to it, and he made them pay. What a goal
Burnley,
that was!
Oh, brilliant from Ben Davies.
Can we kill them off now? Come on, Ben Davies on the ball.
Man on, Rodrigo.
Here's Davis, Bentancur. Looks for Hill. It's a good ball. And
this is where Hill might get knocked off the ball.
That foul by Hill, yeah.
I should say, before the kind of... before he put it in the top corner, Decky Kulusevski was free on the right, and I'm shouting at him to lay him in. I'm shouting, and he's like, nah, seen too much of this all day. I'm going to knuckleball it.
And we know Porro's got that quality. We've seen it. He's got unbelievable ability when it comes to crossing and shooting. And it's a brilliant goal. I actually think that's his first goal of the season. But we saw last season what ability he has shooting from range. And I think he's hit the bar a few times maybe this season, crossing the box.
I think it was in one of our, it might have been the last watch along or certainly one of our bits of content we did in the last month that I fancied Porro to get 3 or 4 goals in the last 6 months of the season. And he's just proven me right with the first of those.
What a massive goal. And Spurs really, really needed that moment of quality because it was definitely looking scary entering the last 10 minutes into this game. The game was peeing out a bit.
Still feels scary. Still feels scary to me, but less scary.
Jory with a super chat saying, unpopular opinion, Emerson's centre backing like a boss. In spite of everything, Brennan is showing his high level of shooting skills. Big up, boys. Great show.
I'm definitely willing to, at the end of this game, if we get through, I will definitely talk quite a lot about Emerson Royale and Ben Davies today so far.
Yeah, they've had a really strong showing today. Here is Emerson to Højbjerg. Come on, Tottenham. Let's kill this game off. Make it 2. Put it to bed. Højbjerg to Brennan. On the right-hand side, back to Højbjerg.
Have you got that in your locker, Pierre? Yes, you have.
Beautiful ball by Pierre. Out wide to Brian Hill.
That's not...
Doesn't go on the outside. He's been tackled by Vitinho. And now Redmond.
Thing is, he just collapses in 50-50s.
Larson, and he shakes off Højbjerg.
So I'm talking about Brian Hill. Brian Hill just kind of collapses in 50-50s, and it happened again. It wasn't even 50-50. He was trying to take it around the outside of the fullback. It was read very easily by the fullback, and he kind of collapsed in the tackle. It's singing endlessly from the same hymn sheet, but he kind of does the same thing every time, Brian Hill, unfortunately. Get off the pitch.
Yes. Ball out wide. Brian Hill can't quite get it to Redmond. Is there another sub coming? I hear the referee blow his whistle. Let's see if there's another change.
Spurs make a sub.
Can't. Oh, Bentancur's going off. So who's he going off for? Oh, what a goal that is by Porro. So Bentancur got 80 minutes today. Brilliant run out for him.
Yeah, fantastic.
Really great.
He was just holding his knee a minute ago. I hope that's all okay.
What a goal that is from Pedro Porro.
Yeah, they're just showing the replays over and over again. I can't think of many times Spurs players have used the knuckleball technique, especially in a non-free kicked case. Obviously, Gareth Bale used to do it a bit with the free kicks, but
Sessegnon's on.
The lesser spotted Ryan Sessegnon, and he's taking that place at the as a left forward.
Donnelly and Scott. Is this a dangerous move here from Ange?
Well, it is if we concede.
10 minutes to go. May bring on some of the youngsters, but Scarlett and Donnelly and Ryan Sessegnon are all going to play the last 10 minutes or so here at the Tottenham Stadium. So Bentancur off. I'm guessing Richarlison off. And Kulusevski, maybe? Is that Kulusevski there? Is he going off? He's still there.
He's still on the pitch. I doubt Dane Scarlett a month ago would have thought he'd be coming on for Spurs in an FA Cup tie.
So Rishi, Bentancur, and who else has gone off?
Not sure. They're not giving us a graphic.
Let's see. Yeah, Kulu's still there. Oh, Brennan, Rishi, Bentancur. So I'm guessing Sessegnon on the left. It looks like... Oh, so Hill on the right. Sessegnon on the left.
Yeah.
Donnelly in the centre with Kulusevski and Højbjerg. And Scarlett up front. And here is Scarlett pressing.
Good press, Dane.
He's pressing the keeper. Really good to see Donnelly get some proper minutes now. At least there's, probably the most minutes he ever had in a Spurs shirt.
Definitely. I am scared.
Yes. Last 6 minutes plus stoppage time here. So only 1-0 lead. Slender. He's putting a lot of trust in these players, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
To put them on in this kind of scenario.
Is, but it's what the fans have been asking for.
So, and also it's interesting to see that Sessegnon has come on as a left winger.
Yeah.
So that is interesting to see.
Hill against that number 28. It's just like he's half his size.
Hill has come on. Yeah, Hill's now moved over to the right-hand side. Here's Muric, the keeper. He's near the halfway line.
Halfway line. Plays a good ball out wide. Well done, Sessegnon. Well done. Well done. He just blocked off a run down the line and Spurs win a throw-in. I'd love to see Sessegnon open it out and just get a chance to get some confidence into his legs.
I wonder how long Sess has been back in training for.
I think Ange said only this week. I'm surprised he's involved. I really am. Because he's been out for so long to then only be... obviously they do the pre-training, don't they, without the ball. I don't know. Look, I'm going to be honest. I think the Spurs physio team probably know a bit more than me.
I'm sure. Here's Udogie. Oh, his throw is not great. Donnelly, he loses it in the centre. Here's Cullen. Højbjerg coming in with the challenge. Redmond on the right. Is that a throw? Referee says stayed on.
Burnley just
Vitinho.
getting a bit of a foothold in the game here.
Oh, good play from Donnelly.
Oh, lovely
with the
turn from
header.
Cess.
And here's Scarlett. And Spurs have support here.
Donnelly's not the quickest on the left,
got
is he?
Donnelly on the left. He's got Session on the inside to his right. Here's Cess.
Oh,
tried to flick it past the defender. Couldn't quite manage.
Oh, hello.
Oh, it's a poor kick from the keeper. And Brian Hill.
No, you've gone the wrong way, mate.
Oh, he's giving it Sessignon. Sessignon. Oh, and it's
tip
shot
wide.
on the right foot is wide.
Tip wide. Tip wide.
Good save.
Do you know
nice
what?
play from Tottenham.
I'm going to say fair play to Sessignon there because he saw on his left that he didn't have a chance and he was brave enough to take it on his right. Oh, yeah, he's
deflection.
tipped
Tipped it wide from the keeper. I'm not sure if it was going in, but...
Oh, Scarlett complaining he wanted a pass, I think. There was a chance in there for
Hill to shoot, yeah.
Hill and Sessignon earlier to shoot a little bit.
Here's Højbjerg.
Oh,
Oh, lovely ball into Brian Hill. He's in the box now,
he's gone
Brian
the wrong
Hill.
way there.
And his cross is
went the
on
wrong
his right
way.
foot. Poor ball. Into the last 5 minutes now.
Yeah, I'd happily take one of those 1 minute added times right
Yeah,
now.
100%. Yeah, I do wonder how many minutes are going to be added on. Again, hasn't been a lot of stoppages, have there?
Don't forget, guys, there will be a fan reaction show straight after this game, but Spurs are in again here.
Scarlett.
Go on, be
Scarlett's in
brave,
the
Dane.
box. Go on, shoot! Shoot! Oh, shot deflected. And it's
corner.
wide. If we do get a penalty, does Scarlett take it? I assume so.
Decky, I would have thought, wouldn't
Oh,
you?
maybe Decky. Oh, I tell you what, it's a terrible effort. Oh, God. That is
He
going
50p'd
well
it.
wide.
It was going well wide and it's hit the
Jesus.
defender's
I think
head.
it hit a little bubble, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Very...
Corner to Spurs.
Three minutes left. They're taking the corner quickly. It comes
we
back
take
to
a lot of short
Højbjerg.
corners so far.
Well, with Porro's delivery in the first half, I'm not surprised, to be honest. But his delivery when it mattered in terms of his shot was unbelievable. It's an interesting ball. Royals tried to play up to
it's a
Brian
foul by
Hill's
Hill.
head. Stupid.
Silly foul.
But just a stupid ball to play from Royal, who's had a good game, but playing a long crossfield ball to a man who's 5'4". Bit bonkers, if you ask me. 87.5 minutes gone. Free kick to Burnley. Keeper's going to kick it long. Don't let that bounce, boys. Well done, Emma.
Another header won by Emerson, but it's fallen to Burnley. Sessignon
slipped.
comes inside, though, and wins it back
Beautiful.
and gives it to Brian Hill.
You
Here's
can't
Jamie
tell me
Donnelly.
that Sessignon isn't a gifted, instinctive player.
He's looking decent since he's come on, to be fair to him.
Give it easy, Vic, and not stupid.
Here's Emerson.
Is that?
Porro.
Oh,
Porro slipped, and
that's a yellow card, but they've
here
got...
come Al Dakli to Trezor in the box, and it's fallen to Brownhill's shot. Well,
Might be a
wide.
booking here, do you think, for that foul that he gave
By
play
Porro.
on for?
Yeah, referee might go back there.
Donnelly gets his body in the way there. It doesn't block the ball, but does enough to put off the Burnley player who kind of shanks it wide, Brownhill. I'd be tempted here, Vicario, probably just to go long, to be honest, mate. They've got 4 men pressing.
Come on, Big Vic. He goes short. Ben Davis.
Yeah,
Spurs fans getting loud now. Can Scarlett win the header? He can't. He's come back at Spurs, but his Højbjerg is going to pick it up and goes back to Vicario, who's under pressure here, and he goes out with his left foot towards Sessignon, who flicks into Scarlett. Good flick there by Sessignon, and Scarlett on the floor as he fouled. Referee says no.
Another slip, though. Lots of slipping going on. Into the 90th minute now. I said
It's a
that's
long
all right.
ball, and it's
That's
going to go all the way.
Dive
through to
on it,
Big
Vic. Dive on it.
Come on. 1 minute of normal time left here.
I reckon he'll find 6 minutes here. Oh,
6, you reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon 4.
Well done, Pierre. Well done for taking that on the half turn.
Oh, it's a good ball into Scarlett, who's come deep and laid off for Jamie Donnelly.
Well done, Jamie.
Is he left-footed, Donnelly?
I think he might be, you know.
He's
Based on me just seeing him pass it with his left
I
foot.
thought it was right foot. Oh, it's a poor ball there by Højbjerg. Not sure what foot he is.
Oh, God. If they score from here, that will get absolutely memed to craziness.
You bet. Kulusevski.
Yeah, we could do with getting Decky on the ball in this area, this period now, actually.
All right, we'll find out in 10 seconds how much stoppage time is there left in this game. Here's Redmond. All the way back to Muric. To Delcroix.
90 minutes gone. Plus
7 minutes. Wow, there you go.
Well, to me, that's bonkers that they found 1 in the first half and 7 in the second half. It's just
I don't know where they found 7 from, but they found it somehow. Here's Porro.
Well done.
Nice
That's
flick
a foul.
into Hill. It's a foul on Porro, and he's rolled down the little hill.
Down the ramp off the side of the pitch there. I think Pedro knows he's using up a bit of time there, to be honest. Quite smart.
Oh, no, he does get a little stamp on his
nasty.
ankle, though, to be fair.
Just one of those classic ones where the players tried to block him and he's just caught him on the top of his toe instead. Emerson Royale being allowed this free kick. I'm not sure about that. He's going to hit it in the channel, is he?
Where's he going to go? Straight to a Burnley. Oh, it's good pressing by Jamie Donnelly.
Yeah, he didn't hold back there. Good lad.
6 minutes left of added on time.
I'd like Spurs to get on the ball a bit, to be honest. It's all been Burnley in the last couple of minutes in terms of possession, and that worries me.
Here is Trezor for Burnley, forced backwards. Spurs fans cheering on the very young team that's out there now. Muric.
Good ball.
Ooh. Oh, is Scarlett going to pick that up? It's going to be a foul.
Dane!
Close.
Unnecessary, though. We had 3 men around him. Just a little bit of over exuberance there, maybe from Dane Scarlett. Gives away a free kick, and Burnley have the ball again. A little bit of frustration from me there.
Oh, ball to the back post,
Well done,
Trezor,
Pedro
but there's
Porro. Now
Porro
Brian.
and stuff. Oh, Porro, Hill's lost it. Here's Trezor.
Brian.
Cullen out wide. Opportunities
Stop
for
the
Burnley to
cross,
get the ball in the box. Vitinho takes on session on, burns him. He's gone to the byline, but his cross is well over here, and Spurs avoid any danger, luckily for us.
I thought Sessegnon sold himself a bit there. Could have jockeyed him a bit more.
Yeah, oh, he stopped. He should have been on his toes.
Oh, yeah. That's why he's not really a great left back, I think. He's got to
Company not happy with that.
He's got to not sell himself too early, so he's able to kind of stop a cross if it comes in. So we have a throw in our kind of right back area. Pedro Porro, on it. We're a bit lightweight on the pitch now. That's in the 50-50s and stuff. Oh wow!
Højbjerg again with a loose pass, and Trezor wins a corner, and I don't like to see this corner to Burnley.
I just think in moments like that, 93rd minute, you just throw it long down the line. You don't try and do something clever. He tried to throw it into...
up very early for the keeper to be up,
he tried to throw it into Højbjerg's feet, and he plays a bad ball, and now the keeper's up for a corner for Burnley.
There's
and
4 minutes left,
we brought this on themselves.
Very early for a keeper to be up. Trezor with the ball in the box and head it out, and we have an open goal if we can counter this.
Well, we haven't got the ball, unfortunately.
Can Hill get there? Can't get it. And Burnley come away with it. Brownhill.
Hill is pressing now.
It's a good ball over
Got
the
to
top.
win that, Emerson.
Emerson does win it, and here's Porro. Good ball to Højbjerg, who can turn.
Can he win a foul there?
Into Hill. Oh, little flick by Hill.
Well done, Brian. Well done, Brian.
Kick.
That was better from Brian.
All right, Højbjerg with a free kick.
Yeah, he needs to be given an option shorter.
Oh, he leaves it for Emerson.
And then we're going to just... Not sure. I would go to the keeper here and open it out to Ben Davis. Go to the keeper, open it out to Ben Davis. We're not going to win this header.
Oh, it's not a great ball. Jamie Donnelly's up for the header. It's
well done, Donnelly.
Kulusevski, can he turn?
Brilliant from Donnelly.
And Donnelly's there. If he can, I didn't play the pass. Cuts inside.
That's better, Brian.
Well done. All right, keep the ball. Just keep the ball.
Oh,
Højbjerg, what are you doing? He's giving it straight to Redmond. And he's been Larson, but the ball was overhit and Davis is over. And really good defending from him. Højbjerg, man, some of his passes since he's come on today have just been suicide, really.
3 minutes left, or just less. But we had the ball so easily there and just madness.
Just blind pass. Oh, missed control by Trezor, and it's a throw in. But yeah, blind pass in a position like that. It's just, what are you thinking? Pedro Porro with the throw. He's going to take a bit of time.
Just go down the line here. Yeah, Lee Dixon's giving man of the match to Pedro Porro for the goal, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably give it to Bentancur, I think.
Oh, we've lost the ball again, but won it back. Well done.
Got it. And he goes long for Sessegnon. Can he win that? It's actually a decent ball.
Yes, go on, Sess. Open your legs, mate.
Take him on. Take him on. Oh, he
nearly kicked it out.
Didn't keep it in. Oh.
No, boys.
Bit rustiness there from Ryan.
Just keep the football, Tottenham Hotspur. Come on. Keep the football.
Last chance, maybe.
Keep turning over the football.
Burnley. Oh, Muric. Cullen, he's kept it. Here's Delcroix. It's a long ball
Oh,
forward.
he's in.
And
Well done, Emerson
really
Royale.
well.
Win a
Header
foul
on
here,
for him.
Pedro.
Porro goes down. It's going to be
I think he's dived.
throw-in, is it? Throw-in.
No,
Throw-in
I'm not
to Burnley.
surprised. He did dive there.
He tried to buy it. He did try to buy it.
Just making some naive decisions, and they can come back to bite you. Well in.
Oh, Porro wins
Get there,
it. And here's
Decky.
Kulu. He
Well
runs
done,
forward.
Decky.
Come on.
Now, can you open your legs, Ryan? Open your legs.
It's a good ball. Concession get there. He is getting there. Come on, Cess. On your own. On your own.
Do you know what?
Do
you know what?
Oh, his handball, is it? Oh.
Do you know what? He doesn't believe in his hamstrings. You can really
so.
see it. He doesn't believe in his hamstrings because the old Sessegnon would have just opened his legs out there.
Just gone for it.
And fair enough, if he's only been training a week, but that's a shame because we've now given away a free kick and they're going to have one more chance to get it forward.
Yeah, Donnelly in support as well, but he ends up fouling him.
.40 seconds to go. Burnley go long.
Oh, he's so free. How is he free?
Because he kicked the centre half over.
Oh, shot blocked.
What a block from Højbjerg.
Corner to Burnley.
But he's booked Brian Hill for something there, but someone was knocked over.
Did he?
He's just booked Hill. Maybe he said something.
Jesus Christ. What's going on here? What were they waiting for?
So that was a huge chance for Burnley. It was actually a carbon copy chance of the goal that Alex Scott scored in our game against Bournemouth. And an incredible block from Højbjerg. And it's now a corner with 8 seconds to go. And the Burnley keeper is up again. Is someone going to be brave and actually mark the keeper? Or are we going to stay zonal? 97 minutes have gone.
I think if we clear this is the game one. But it's last chance saloon. The keeper's up there! Oh my words! Oh my words! Keeper wins the flick on, and Amdouni is there with the chance to get the equaliser, but it's just behind him, and his flick just goes wide. Oh my word! What a moment that would have been. The keeper actually wins the flick on. Oh Jesus Christ! What a chance that is.
And that's the end.
Is that full time?
I have to say that is unbelievable that they haven't scored there. Spurs are incredibly lucky.
Oh, what a chance right at the end, but Spurs are through to the fourth round. We just about squeezed past Burnley there. It's finished. Tottenham 1, Burnley 0, and oh my word, that was definitely squeaky bum time for Tottenham, just about squeezing past. But yeah, let's get into the instant match reaction. What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Spurs have squeezed into the fourth round, beating Burnley 1-0 in the FA Cup. Goal from Pedro Porro winning it, but look, it was definitely a tense game. It was a close game, especially with Burnley having a chance right at the end to equalise from a corner, but Spurs just about getting over the line. I'm here with Barnaby Slater to talk about the game. This is our instant match reaction. Look, Barnaby, it was definitely not a vintage Tottenham display, was it, throughout the 90 minutes, albeit it was a strong lineup that Ange played from the start. Definitely no complaints with the lineup. He went as strong as possible, but we just never really got fully going, did we, in this game? We did have a few chances early on. We had some spells where we were looking bright, but Burnley stayed in the game for long periods, and it took us until 10 minutes to go to finally find that moment of quality through Pedro Porro. But what do you put it down to, the fact that we just didn't quite see the best of Tottenham today?
I think that shows why we had to play our best lineup, because Burnley saw it as a free hit and they were the underdogs and they played really well. They made it incredibly tight and packed in that midfield. We weren't able to play these little kind of lovely 1- and 2-touch passes and break through their back line. We didn't make many chances for Richarlison up front. And in the end, it took something, as you mentioned, absolutely class from Pedro Porro. Knuckleball shot into the top left-hand corner from about 25, 26 yards. But it was a battle. And in the FA Cup, you just have to find ways to win. And we did that. That's the important thing. They had a gilt-edged chance right at the end from a corner that, we were giving away the ball so badly in the last kind of 5-10 minutes after we'd gone ahead. Obviously, we're not going to remember that. We're going to remember that we're through and we're in the draw, and with only one more round coming before all our players will be back at the end of January, that's the most important thing. But game management is something that Ange is going to have to coach into this team. The mentality to get yourself through these cup matches, which we've really failed at over the last 4 or 5 years. But yes, as I said, important thing, we're through. A a really amazing bit of class kind of decided it for us. But yeah, I would say a lot of kind of average performances. Some really important points. Obviously, Bentancur playing kind of 70, 80 minutes, really important. Some of our injured players going back on, Sessegnon as well. But yeah, absolutely terrible at the end when the keeper comes up for the corner, gets the flick on, because once again, we don't try and attack that first ball from a corner, something that we've been guilty of all season, if you ask me. And really, the striker there, to miss it from 3 yards out, I'll tell you what, the mood would be unbelievably different right now if that had gone in, and we'd be going to Turf Moor now, and we would be worried.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, at the end of the day, look, we did sneak through, but in terms of how the game progressed, I think like the first half, we did have like the majority again of the ball. We had majority of the shots. Richarlison had a few openings, but Burnley did have the best chance of the game. In fact, you can probably look at it at the end of the game saying probably had the two best chances of the game. They both fell to the same guy. Amdouni, he had a really good chance in the first half, which he blazed over the bar. We got a bit of luck with that one. But we started the game with Kulusevski on the right, Johnson on the left, and we just weren't getting in those dangerous crossing positions that, you know, we've seen Richarlison gobble up in the last few weeks. And he did change it in the second half when Johnson went to the right. He looked a bit better, but maybe he tired, maybe it was a bit too little too late. But, you know, based on the you know, seeing how we progressed through that game, do you see him persisting with Johnson on the left? Do you see him maybe putting him on the right for next game?
No, I think Johnson is too raw to be playing out of position at the moment. You know, we found out in the last few weeks that something that Johnson is great at is getting the ball out of his feet and getting an early crosser into the box for Richarlison to come onto. He wasn't able to make any of those opportunities really today, but yes, he did look more comfortable on the right, and that's why for me, if he's going to be playing, he'll be playing in that position. How he finds room for Deki Kulusevski in that instance, you know, remains to be seen, but it's better to have options, which we haven't had over the last month. In terms of how the game went, I think sometimes you just got to give credit to the opposition. Company, clearly a good tactical manager, not just as some of the pundits talk about, a manager who just plays good stuff and will get rolled over easily. He knew that the way to counteract the great Ange ball system is to pack that middle of the pitch, play that diamond, get as many men in there as you can and make it difficult. And they did make it difficult. It was a free punt for them. You could tell that, you know, they didn't care whether they lost or not because, you know, they weren't expected. So what I mean by that, not that they didn't care, but just that they were willing to put everything in and see what happened. And in the end, as you said, they made the two best chances in the game, and it took that moment of magic from Pedro Porro. They're just showing a replay there with Vicario absolutely giving it large when it happened. We needed that. And Pedro is going to need to step up in the second half of the season with a few more goals. That's his first of the season, we think.
Yeah.
And he scored a few at the back end of last season. We're going to need some more of that. So great that he'll get a bit more confidence. I want to give some kind of props to the players that I also thought did well. Destiny Udogie, especially in a period of the first kind of half an hour, was excellent for Spurs. Always looks like our kind of most dangerous player in central midfield. And Rodrigo Bentancur, considering how long he's been out, it's clear that those 60 minutes or so he got in his legs against Bournemouth, absolutely vital, because he looked back to almost his best today. And it's just so simple with him. 1, 2 touch, give me the ball, I'll take it in with under pressure, I'll take it when I've got space, but either way, I will have already scanned the pitch behind me, and I will take it on the half turn and beat a man, or I will clip it round the corner, I'll know where the player is. And that's what we're missing from someone like Oliver Skipp. I don't want to use him as a scapegoat. I'm not a negative Skipp person. I think he's a good player, but he doesn't have the confidence at the moment. And he's been given chances kind of in the last 2 of 3 games, apart from that injury. And he just wasn't at it today. He just wasn't good enough. And I think realistically, we have to find ways to get players who are more comfortable on the ball at this pace in the team when we go to Old Trafford. I really do. I also, because I said I would if we got through with a clean sheet, big props to Emerson Royal and Ben Davies today. They were faultless, in my opinion, at centre-half. Emerson Royal did a lot of good sweeping up. We've not given him any real credit for that kind of stuff in the last few weeks, but he's done well. And Ben Davies is growing into that position. He's been excellent. So, you know, I've given Emerson Royal a fair bit of stick in terms of what he's like on the ball, but today, in terms of his pure defending, really good, and good to get another clean sheet. But you cannot help but just think about that last second opportunity for Burnley. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Is our name on the cup, boys? Is it too soon to say our name is on the cup because they missed an open goal from 3 yards out in the last kick of the game? Sim, is it on there?
It would have been an assist from the keeper as well, if that would have gone in, which would have been a hairy moment.
I don't use that term that a lot of people use, but that would have been that term. Grabbing like a replay from the jaws of victory.
100%. In terms of a few talking points from the game, obviously, with 10 minutes to go, we just scored the goal. Porro puts us 1-0 up. Really brilliant finish from him. And then he does kind of, I wouldn't say put the result in jeopardy, but, you know, it takes a big risk, doesn't he, those last 10 minutes? Brings on Dudley, brings on Scarlett, brings on Sessegnon. It was good to see him back on the pitch, by the way, after his long layoff. But, you know, I don't know, it's fair to say if we lost our way in the last 10 minutes, but definitely we seem to lose a bit of aggression, a bit of fight in those last 10 minutes, and Burnley definitely did grow into the game, but we did end up getting over the line. But, you know, how do you feel now post-game about those changes Ange made with 10 minutes to go? I'm
glad you said aggression and fight, actually, because for me what it was about was we just suddenly looked a bit lightweight. We weren't able to keep the ball. And actually what you want to do in those... I remember this from years ago when Martin Jol started at Spurs. He used to talk about how many times we get into positions where we're 1-up, going into the last 10 minutes of the game, and we'd make bad decisions. Actually, the most important thing when you get into those situations is make good decisions, because the other team, they have to win it off you. So don't try and do it so quickly and in a paradise way. Keep the ball, make them come at you, lay it off easily, and the space will be there. And because those substitutions had been made, I felt in that last kind of few minutes, the only player on the pitch who had kind of like the stature and the physical strength to keep the ball was Kulusevski, and we weren't getting him on the ball enough. So although I think Scarlett is a talent, and Sessegnon obviously coming back from his injury, and Jamie Donnelly is highly rated within the club, I'm not sure necessarily that it was the right time to bring on 3 players who were quite easy to knock off the ball and to be tackled, and we just weren't able to keep that. That was disappointing. That led to them having a couple of chances that they shouldn't have had, and it could be a totally different story. But the reality is, it's a good result. Within the draw for the next round, we can watch the rest of the FA Cup over this weekend with our feet up, beer in hand, look to get a good draw for the 4th round at the end of this month. If we can get a good home draw against a lower league team, get through to that 5th round which has basically been our banana skin for the last few years. Not many better teams than us. We didn't perform well this tonight, but not many better teams than us in the division, in the Premier League, and therefore in the FA Cup. Who knows what could happen? Like I said, name's on the cup, mate. I'm just seeing a replay of that miss. He's literally 2 yards out on the volley, and he's managed to hit it wide when it's harder to miss the goal and score it. Blue and white ribbons on that cup.
Just on the flip side of what we're talking about with those subs, though, the fact that we did make it through and got over the line with them on the pitch, you know, will hopefully give them confidence going forward that they can get more involved, and hopefully Ange can use them more.
It can't do them any harm. It can't do them any harm, but potentially, if we had conceded in that last second, that is the kind of thing that can do young players harm. And I'm thinking more of Jamie Donnelly, really. Brian Hill came on a bit earlier, and you know, as ever with Brian Hill, hustle and bustle, but knocked off the ball too easily. I cannot see a future for Brian Hill in Ange Bull's squad. Maybe he won't go this January because unless they're able to bring someone in. But I have to say at this point, and I would love to be proven wrong, going into the longer term, past the summer, I don't think Oliver Skipp and Brian Hill will be at this club.
Yeah, I don't completely disagree. Just as an overall look at like how we've been playing, you know, over the last few games now, and this is another game where we've got over the line, we've won, but again, not overly impressive. If you look at our previous few home games against Bournemouth, losing then away to Brighton, at home to Everton, and away at Forest, that's like our last 5 games now. Although we've won 4 of our last 5, or 5 of our last 6 in general, the performance level's still not quite as it was, definitely in the previous few games. So is that a growing concern, or as long as we keep getting over the line, it's going to be okay?
I think it's totally understandable. Arguably 2 or 3 of the most important players to the way that the Ange Bull system is played are out. And without a doubt, the jewel in the crown, the most important player as to how we had that 10-match winning run at the beginning of the season, or certainly not losing run, 8 wins and 2 draws, is James Maddison. James Maddison, because it's not just that he's free in the pockets and the other players can find him. If he's being marked out of the game, or if they play it like they did today, if the opposition plays it where they make it incredibly tight, he was coming all the way back to his back line to get the ball, playing it into midfield, running off and getting it back, and therefore setting us up. So Christian Romero, almost equally as important, because the way that he plays on the ball from the back line is so superior to how Royal and Ben Davis are on the ball. Royal really only has most often he'll play it out to Porro on the right, and most often Ben Davies will play it out wide to Udogie or to the left-sided forward. And it's a bit kind of easy to read for opposition. So once Romero is back and once Maddison is back, and of course Mickey van der Ven as well, so good to see him on the bench today. But I was also kind of pleased he didn't come on because hamstrings are so dangerous, and I would hate to see him have a relapse of that. But once we get those players back, and that's what I'm talking about in terms of getting to the end of January. That's the key thing. So the performances aren't there, you're right, but I don't expect the performances to be there because the key players to make that happen aren't available. So we're grinding out the results. We're still in the Cup. We're 1 point behind Arsenal and only 6 behind Liverpool in the league. We go to Old Trafford now. It's a bit of a free hit to us, I think, because often at Old Trafford we get turned over even when Man United are dross, and currently Man United are total dross, but they may still find a way against us. But we will be the underdog, I think, at Old Trafford. It'll be a big pressure night for them. And maybe we can go there and get a win, which would be absolutely enormous.
100%. And the fact that we've got these players back and getting back to full fitness going into that game is only going to benefit us. And we did make it through the Cup. So that's, look, big news. And that's what everyone wanted. Everyone wants us to have a good Cup run. Everyone wants to take it seriously. You're going to have, peaks and troughs and difficult challenges along the way, especially, early in the rounds when you're playing Premier League teams and you don't have all of your players available. It's always going to be a bit of a slog and a bit of a challenge, but we got through at the end of the day. Let's hope come the next round, maybe we have more players back. Maybe we have Maddison back for the next round. Maybe Van der Ven is ready to start in the next round. Bentancur is going to have a few more minutes in his leg. So I think it's very positive. And look, at the end of the day, we did go over the line and we are in the hat for the 4th round. So big up to all of you guys out there. That is your instant match reaction. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of today's game. And now it is your chance to have your say. We're going to go straight into the post-match fan show. If you want to get on and join the show and have your opinion, the link is in the community section for all members right now. So before anyone joins, we'll read some comments and then we'll start getting people on. Let's read some comments though in the meantime. Tom Edgall says, shocking performance tonight, lads, but glad we got the win. Well done, Porro. Yeah, look, it was bad. The performance wasn't great. I would say in general, we probably had control of the game for most of it. But yeah, I mean, Burnley did create the better chances overall. They had the 2 best chances of the game. They had one right at the end as well. So you could probably say we got away with one at the end of the day. But we showed our quality when we needed it to, and we did go over the line.
That's it. It's just a matter of getting over the line in those games. And so many times over the last few years in the Cup, we haven't managed to do that. And so many times over the last month, we've been begging for players to take some more shots outside of the box. Pedro Porro read the play from the goalkeeper's throw out. Incredible tackle, clean tackle. Looked ahead of him and thought, no, these players have all had too many chances to try and do something from here. I'm going to stick it in the top bin, and he did it. And that's amazing for his confidence going forward. It's absolutely vital that we have more players getting on the score sheet. And hopefully Porro and Udogie, who I think has got 1 this season, hopefully they can start adding some goals in from the inverted fullback roles.
Wira Esley Sly says, centre-back slow with the ball, midfield and full-back don't combine, attack rushed it. So a few criticisms of a lot of those players. Maybe how the team functioning. Crimson says we got lucky in the end. How do you feel after that performance? Look, I feel relieved for sure, especially how would that miss at the end. But I don't think it was like a total disaster of performance by any stretch. I don't think you can come away and say we were total dross. But definitely it was very stodgy. We didn't create too many gilt-edged opportunities. I felt like we did have Burnley under control though for the majority.
Look, it was a tough Premier League game. Just so happened that it was in the FA Cup. Burnley weren't going to come over here and roll over and die. It was a free shot for them. No pressure. Think of the amount of pressure they play under in the Premier League each week. There's no pressure. And these are elite football players. They're at the top level. It's percentages here and there. So that can happen. And that can happen to some of the other teams who are at the top of the Premier League when they're playing lower teams. So the important thing is getting through. Nobody remembers anybody's cup run when they're in the cup final. So Ange will want to take us all the way. No one will remember who we beat in the 3rd round. Are we still in the hat? Yes. Hopefully we can get a better draw, an easier draw, someone lower league at home, and then maybe you can see a bit of your Jamie Donnellys or your Alfie Dorringtons. Brian Hill, maybe even. But look, I'm sure Ange in his interview right now is just saying we're in the draw, and that's all that matters. But yes, it was a difficult game. We're having to grind out results. We've got a lot of injuries, but let's have some positivity too, guys. We could easily have lost a few of these games that we've won, and I think the only reason we are winning these games is because we've got the manager who makes the players believe in him and has instilled a style of football that is enabling us, even when not playing at our best, to find victories where victories would not otherwise be found.
Yeah, completely agree with that. Yeah, I think let's start getting some callers on. We have one waiting in the back. We've got Rovshan. Let's get him on. Rovshan, how are we doing tonight? We've made it through to the fourth round. What are your overall feelings after that performance?
Yeah, relieved. I'm happy that we're through to the next round. It was important because if we got eliminated in this round of the FA Cup, it would be horrible, wouldn't it? Because it would be the same thing that happened in the Carabao Cup. So first of all, I'm happy. Yeah, the performance wasn't as convincing as we would like it, but big players need to step up to have big moments in certain situations to win teams the games, and Pedro Porro did that today. And I have been a big fan of him so far this season, and he always adds to that. Just a brilliant right back. I'm sure big clubs will be watching him, but hopefully we'll keep him. It's good.
Yeah, in fact, apparently Pedro Porro is being earmarked as Carl Walker's long-term replacement. So let's hope they
already got rid of him once.
That's absolutely right.
No.
Absolutely right.
He will definitely won't go there because they were not sure about him at first place, and now he shows how brilliant. I think he's the best right back in the league. Like maybe he can have competition with Trent, but either him or Trent is the best one in the league. And we're so lucky to have him. What a goal. What a brilliant goal. I didn't expect that to come. Like a brilliant shot. He has to get credit. And
I can't think, Roshan, I can't think of many times when Spurs players have used that technique from open play. I can't think of a single time. And it really was an unbelievable bit of technique, wasn't it?
It was just after a good chance where Richarlison missed, where I was unhappy, and he just shot it, and it was unexpected. And it's a big blessing, because he had the courage, he had that brave to take that shot, because not all the players take shots from there, and he had belief in himself, and he was successful in the end. And it was important because it was 80th minute, I think. Because if he didn't score, then we needed to go to Turf Moor and play another leg, which would be unhealthy for us. So let's be honest. And it was very good to get a win. Then I just think we're doing. Still, we are achieving over what we should achieve, because still it was 4 fullbacks in the pitch. We just don't have not only our important players, but we don't have our best players. Son. The league's one of the best players in the league. Maddison, our best player. Romero, our best centre-back. Van de Ven, our second best centre-back.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have these guys, and we still get results. And
Basuma and Sarr, actually. All those players who in those first 10 games were absolutely vital to the confident style of football we were playing. Do you know what? Roshan, you just made such a good point. I'd actually forgotten about those players who'd gone off to the AFCON and the Asian Cup. I was just like, if we get Romero and Van de Ven and Maddison back, we'll be fine. But then there's 4 others, like from our first team. So we're saying pick your best team, Ange, but actually it's already a rotation team. So maybe we've got to give those players a bit more credit than we are giving them.
Absolutely. Pape Sarr, what a player. Bissouma, we don't have these guys. We have these guys, but we can't use them at the moment. But it was vital to have Benteke back because I think we would have struggled whole January with Højbjerg and Skip partnership. And he is just unbelievable player. I just love him. I think he might be our best midfielder, but that's arguably. I think Son would be vital in this game. Sometimes we really criticize him, but he's really important for our team, for this Ange system, because he's such an unbelievable player that can contribute in any game, because he's a big player, world-class player in my opinion. As both as winger and striker, doesn't matter. And I think in this competition, if some of the big boys get eliminated, which one of them will certainly be in Liverpool-Arsenal game, and we get a lucky draw until semi-final like that, I really fancy us having a go at this competition. Like this must be the year. We are out of Europe, and we have to go all guns blazing to this FA Cup.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I have a feeling we can really reach to that final, and then in the final anything can happen. But it's important to take this competition seriously, because we are starving for a trophy, and I think it's a great chance. Again, if some of the big boys get eliminated and we get a lucky draw, we absolutely have to take this competition seriously. Again, at this point, I'm a trophy over a table in the Premier League, in a good position, because I have never seen us win a trophy, and it would be unbelievable to see it. Like, let's if we move on from January, let's say if we get a result against United at Old Trafford, which will not be easy. And after Brentford game, I think we will get Maddison, Son, Sarr, everyone back. I think we can have a go at. Yeah, it's a bit exaggerating, but we can have a go at title. I just want a dream. That's my job as a fan. But
right.
That's exactly what Ange said as well. If the fans want to dream, let them dream. But look, Rovshan, lovely to see you, my friend. Cheers for calling on, mate. And we'll see you very soon.
See you guys. Bye.
Top man, always such a great caller, Rovshan. Can I just say before we go on to our next caller, Rovshan mentioned a couple of things. One that I think is going to give me sleepless nights tonight was when he mentioned otherwise in January I think we might have struggled with Skip and Højbjerg. Like no more has tonight shown that to me, because Skip, who I'm pillaring a little bit, but he didn't have his best game, and then Højbjerg with a couple of his passes, maybe 2 or 3 passes, was a nightmare. And then the other thing on the flip side of that, he said, that suddenly got me unbelievably excited is something that we haven't seen yet, which is the thought of Rodrigo Bentancur in a midfield with 2 other players as good as him. Do you know what I mean? Like with Maddison and Basuma, or Maddison and Sarr, you know, all of those options that once everybody's fit and available, honestly, it will be sexy football. It will be sexy football. Yeah,
I think Bentancur was one of the main positives of tonight. I thought he looked a lot better, a lot sharper than he did maybe against Bournemouth. He lasted a lot longer as well, obviously. Went off after 80 minutes, and I thought he put in a really, really strong performance. So he was a major benefit, and I can't wait to see more of him. Going forward, hopefully at Old Trafford as well. Let's keep going with the callers though. Let's bring on Alex. Let's see what he's got to say. Good evening, Alex. How are you doing today, mate? I think you're on mute, mate. So no? Is it on our end? Everything's all right on our end. Maybe try reconnecting, and we'll try and get you back on. No worries. We'll see what. Who would be your number one? Your 3 central midfielders if they're all available? Well, I think in a perfect world, probably Basuma, Bentancur, and Maddison. No Sarr. That's the thing. Sarr's been playing so well, and Basuma's off form, so. I think on form, you got to say Sarr's ahead of Basuma. So maybe Bentancur, Sarr, Maddison. I do think an amazing midfield, which would be incredible. I do think if I'm just putting it purely on right now, not on form, just as quality midfielders, who's the best fit? I do think that's our best stream: Basuma, Bentancur, Maddison. But Sarr's on great form. Because I also think Basuma's form will improve when he's got those other 2 around him. Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's a great problem to have. It really is a great problem to have. Some people say Bentancur, Sarr and Maddison. No one's saying Lo Celso, who I thought had maybe a hit and miss game tonight. He did. Are we gonna try? Let's try Alex one more time then. Alex.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. There he is. It's the big man, top man.
Cheers for coming on, Alex. Look, what was your feeling on tonight's game? We just about squeezed through. Were you happy with the performance, or did it concern you at all?
I think we just about did enough to get through. I think we struggled to get through their midfield. And I think Richie was he was off it. He wasn't playing as well as he was the last few games.
Yeah, he had a few half chances, didn't he? Especially in the first half. Didn't quite get the service, but what do you put that down to? Obviously, Brennan Johnson played the majority of the game on the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side. Did move over to the right-hand side midway through the second half. But why do you think we weren't getting Richarlison as involved as maybe other games?
I think I made some notes, and I think our crossing just wasn't good enough tonight. I think you're right. I think having Kulu on the right, being left-footed, and Johnson on the left, being right-footed, just didn't work. I think we were better when Johnson went over to the right and Kula went into the middle. Hill's a bit lightweight, and I think we need to find a different solution. Hopefully, when Manuel Solomon comes back, if he comes back before Sonny comes back from the Asian Cup, then I think he'd be a much better option on the left-hand side.
Alex, do you think we're being overly critical of a team at the moment who are kind of threadbare and slotted together with kind of almost six, maybe 5 or 6 first-team players out? Are we expecting too much to expect them to play Ange ball at the correct tempo and the correct intensity when they're not the players who should be in that side anyway?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that will be so much. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. Imagine that midfield with Bentancur, Maddison, and either Basuma or Sarr. It will just be completely different. I think Udogie had a good game, and obviously Porro on the right had a fantastic game. He was definitely our best player on the pitch tonight, and that goal was incredible. It was fantastic.
Obviously, this was our first game without Son since he's gone to the Asia Games, and there's been a lot of talk about how our attack is going to fare without Heung-min Son. Didn't quite click tonight, but is it a case for you of with more time to gel they'll be okay, or is it a genuine concern while Son's away?
I think it's our first game without Son for. Has he even missed a game this season?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he has he? So no, I think it's a huge thing missing Son. He's our captain for a start. He gels the team together. He encourages everybody. We don't have that on. Bentancur is our captain, which is great, but he isn't Sonny. Sonny is by far, if you ask me, he's the best captain we've had in a very long time, and I think he really galvanises the team and gives the team confidence, even when he doesn't have his best games. So I think he's a massive loss, not just his playing ability, but his actual presence on the pitch and in the squad, in the team. Yeah. So I think give him some time, bit more, a few more training sessions without Sonny. I think we'll see an improvement against United. Well, we need to see an improvement against United because Burnley weren't that good tonight. I didn't really feel that they didn't have that much penetration. I didn't feel worried about them when they came forward. But then again, you might say the Burnley fans might say the same thing about us tonight.
I think it's worth talking, seeing as we've been talking about the kind of forward options. Richarlison, as mentioned, didn't have a great game. He actually surprised me a little tonight. He had a few opportunities to show a bit more pace than he did. I thought he was a bit quicker than he did. And in that first kind of 20 minutes when he had 2 chances to kind of take a touch and get away from defenders, the defenders were actually quicker than he was.
Yeah.
I think with the 5 goals in 5 games, we've all kind of been hopeful that Richarlison was starting to come good. And I think in terms of his 6-yard box finishing, he's confident with that at the moment. But in terms of his all-round play, do you see that there are many other better options around in the market, maybe in the summer, if we were looking to upgrade? Or do you think in terms of a player who can do the 9 and also maybe play off the left, maybe that's as good as we're going to get in that kind of 50, 60 million pound bracket that Spurs aren't willing to pay more than?
Yeah, I think the striker market is, you're going to pay 80, 90 million. I mean, Grassi, for example, he would be incredible. He's got pace. He's got strength. Don't get me wrong. I do like Richie. And I was actually with you. I know you said that you think he'll score 15 goals this season. I said, I think he could score 20 in all competitions, not necessarily just the Premier League. But you're right. Tonight, I just don't think he wasn't getting into the positions he's been getting in the last few games. And I think he just seemed a yard off it tonight. And I think we need to sign a better backup or a better forward than Richie. And I think we can do that in the summer. Whether Richie stays, with that or not, I don't know.
Well, Alex, thanks for calling in, mate. Really good to see you. And
Thanks, guys.
we'll see you.
Enjoy the rest of your Friday night, Alex. Have a big one.
You too. Come on, you Spurs.
Go
Come on, you Spurs. All right, we've got the lines are pretty busy tonight, so let's keep going with the callers. A lot of people want to come in and have their say. Well, next one, we've got Brian Daigle in the house. Let's bring on Brian. How are we doing, Brian?
We are doing good, lads. How are you and everyone in the chat?
Yes,
yeah, I
mate.
think we're doing all right, mate. Good to see you as always. We got there in the end, didn't we, tonight? But what were your overall thoughts on what happened tonight?
Listen, it wasn't the greatest of spectacles, was it? And whether that was because we couldn't have a fully fit team out or Burnley came to defend, all that really matters is that score. We won. We're through to the fourth round. I've spoken the whole week about how important this cup is to me personally, and obviously Spurs fans in general. And we've got the job done. That's all that matters. I think the main thing I'm very impressed with today was the back four. But I think all deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, totally agree, Brian. I think, considering they're four fullbacks playing, and before the last few games they'd never played together before. I think especially Emerson Royal and Ben Davies today Emerson Royal particularly actually surprised me. He showed some reading of the game that I hadn't really seen from him before and in that centre-back role, and it's worth giving him credit where it's due.
But listen, we should always give credit where it's due, and I think the worrying thing I heard, I think Ben Davies has pulled a hamstring right at the end of the game and looked in serious problems, which is, let's face it, the last thing we needed. But I think together as a partnership today, listen, Burnley didn't offer a lot, but what they did, they dealt with, and they dealt with admirably. The two fullbacks were magnificent and the best players on the pitch by a country mile. But those defenders definitely stood up tall tonight.
I didn't see that Ben Davies
you're
in the
absolutely
hamstring.
right. I'm just reading it now as of a few minutes ago. And said in his interview that Ben Davies has tweaked his hamstring late on, and he's actually said and actually confirmed that the club can't afford to. The club can still afford to sell Eric Dyer this month, even if Ben Davies is missing with injury. So seems like the plan is still to sell Eric Dyer.
That makes me think that the Dragusin, if it is the Dragusin signing, must be pretty close because you wouldn't be saying that out loud to the press if you didn't have a replacement.
Well, obviously the timing is pretty good with Van de Ven coming back.
Exactly.
Well, so could have been worse, but that is not great news still. That Ben Davies.
It's not. I mean, we heard it in the commentary here. Basically, right near the end, apparently there's obviously playing all these minutes that got to him, and he was really, really struggling, and they couldn't make another substitute. So they had to keep him on the pitch, and that's why Højbjerg was in that position to make that block for the corner right at the end. And if you saw, he was talking to the referee just before that corner came in at the very death, trying to do something or say something. But it's a concern because Ben Davies has stood up in the absence of Van de Ven and done it remarkably well, I feel. I think he's getting a lot of discredit, and he deserves a lot more credit than he's been getting. And I think the defence were, like we were just saying, Barnaby, I think today the defence were magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they completely won us the game. They got the clean sheet, and Porro provided that moment of magic, didn't he? And he's been singing his praises for the whole season, Pedro Porro. I think that's his first goal of the season. I think he's got 7 assists, but he's got so much quality, doesn't he? Do you feel like he gets the credit? Maybe from Spurs fans he does. Do you think maybe from the wider community, football community, that is, he maybe deserves a bit more credit?
Well, Simeon, you'll remember when we were at the supporters trust process on the Man U game, when you read out the team sheet and said Porro was there, I dropped to my knees and went, "Oh my God, we're going to lose. Porro can't defend." I think he's been superb since that game. I think he's our most improved player. I got that wrong. I'm delighted to have got that wrong. And I'll tell you what, that strike, it was one of those strikes that when you see it the side netting, and from the angle you saw from the camera, it was just a pile driver, wasn't it? It was just a thing of beauty. And what a thunderbolt it was. It was an incredible shot. And let's face it, there wasn't many magical things in the game. That would top the bill in any game. That was a sensational goal.
I really hope that is kind of shown in training next week, and I'm saying maybe guys have a few more shots from outside the box, because we're not getting any kind of deflected goals or anything like we used to get a lot from Harry Kane, scoring not only obviously his worldies from outside the box, but he'd take shots and get quite a lot of deflections, and we're not really taking enough shots. So fair play to Pedro Porro. He took the bull by the horns, and I'm pleased he did.
Well, Barry, I'll add with that. And I mean, I really thought, talking the shots, I thought Brennan Johnson, the word that someone used here, and I think it's so right, I think he's timid at the moment. He took that shot in the first half from outside the area, as we're just talking long shots. It was a great shot. Goalkeeper made a great save. I thought, you know what, maybe that's it. Now he's going to start feeling a bit more confident. Then he had that volley in the second half. But there were a couple of times on the wing where he just tried to do a couple of things, like when he backheeled it behind him. I think he's just lacking that little bit of confidence or self-doubt in himself. Yeah. And it's affecting him. But we definitely, I think you're right, Barnaby. We spend a lot of this time playing beautiful football. And it's reminding me a bit, not exactly the style, but with Arsene Wenger, when they had to try and score the perfect goal, and it was the beautiful, intricate putt and the lack of long-range shooting. We've got players that can ping the ball. I think it's something we do need to add to our game.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. We did get some. We saw one Ryan Sessegnon back in the fold tonight, which was a bit of a surprise, and he came on, had a 10-minute run out near the end of the game. Good to have him back. And how do you feel like he got on?
I believe in miracles. Sorry, we're going to win the FA Cup. Inspired. Sessegnon's on the pitch and on the pitch to the game.
Sorry, Brian.
Can you hear me?
Brian, you're breaking up a bit. You're just. I think it's all right now. Maybe try again.
It's all right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good to see him on. He caused a little bit of danger when he first came on, and let's just hope he can stay fit. I mean, Simeon, we were talking about it today, weren't we? About Man U probably wanting him on loan, whether that was rubbish or not, but at least we got to see him on the pitch.
Yeah, 100%.
That would be so bizarre if they sent back Reguilon and took Sessegnon. That wouldn't make any sense. I should say, just because I've given him a bit of stick about the bad passing when he came on tonight. Højbjerg did make that great block at the end. I should reference that because that was vital, because that would have been exactly the same as that Alex Scott goal against Bournemouth. So fair play to him. He puts his body on the line, but there was some mad decision making again from him tonight. But like you said at the beginning, Brian, and you and I feel like we're of a similar vintage. It's about getting through, it's about being in the draw, and it's about the possibility of that FA Cup being covered in blue and white ribbons and going down the Tottenham High Road. How much do you think we have a shot at it genuinely this season?
I generally, since the passing of Terry Venable, like how Spurs have said when the year ends in one. Yeah, I literally think the year that Terry Venable sadly passes away, the last manager to win it for us, this is the year we do it. I am literally convinced. I was dreading having a replay. It's the last thing we needed going up to Turf Moor just after Manchester United. We haven't got that now, and the most important big thing, like you've just said as well as me, Barnaby, is getting in that hat for the next round, and we're there. Doesn't matter how we got there, we're there.
Yeah, that would definitely be poetic if we could do it in the year Terry sadly passed away.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Brian, lovely to see you as always, mate. Good to chat.
Always pleasure.
I'll speak to you very, very soon, Brian.
Have a big night,
Brian.
Have
a good weekend, and yourself, guys. Have a great one. See you later.
See you soon. Some interesting stuff coming out of the press conference with Ange. Apparently, he was asked about Eric Dyer's absence from the squad. He said Eric is injured. Oh. He got injured in training yesterday, and that is why he was not selected today. And then asked whether he was questioned about whether that was true or not, I guess. And he kind of snapped to the report and said, "Don't question my integrity." After the reporter hinted towards Ange not telling the truth about Dyer's absence. So
Ange will not get angry about VAR, but he will snap at a reporter if asked about whether he's maybe hiding somebody's or pretending there's an injury when he's potentially getting a move. But yeah, maybe he is injured, and maybe that would scupper any move. Who knows?
Well, Ange was asked whether, I'll get the quote here, he was asked whether the injury to Ben Davies will scupper any move for Eric Dyer. He was asked, "Can you afford to lose Dyer this month if Davies is injured?" And he said yes. So that I think is pretty telling.
Wherever Eric Dyer is now, his face currently being pushed into the mud by Big Ange, and a lot of fans I think will be happy about it.
Yeah, it's interesting to him say that so publicly. I guess it's interesting to have a refreshingly honest answer, I guess, from Ange. All right, let's get Barry on. Let's see what he's got to say. Yes, Barry, he's got a big smile on his face. I don't think that smile would be as big if it wasn't for an Emma Goat masterclass on the pitch today. Barry, what was your assessment of today's game?
well, the best Brazilian on the pitch was clearly Emerson Royale, wasn't it today, Sim? Because Richie did what Richie does and went missing as usual. Yeah, look, I think like everyone said, you know, I mean, when we saw the lineup, I think everyone was going, "Ah, it's going to be an easy game, 3-0. It should be comfortable." Burnley made a lot of changes. But we were just kind of looked. I think Brian summed it up. Brennan Johnson looked timid. I mean, you know, having him and Kulu, when they swapped over, it worked a bit better because there was less predictability. No coincidence that Oliver Skip came off and a minute later we scored. But yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't pretty. It was probably, after Brighton and Wolves, our worst performance of the season. But look, we got the job done, like Barnaby said, and we're in the hat for the next round. So that's all we can. At least we, you know, we're not getting messages from other fans in all the groups that we're in and getting pelters. So that's the most important thing, right? So look, it wasn't pretty. I mean, Vicario didn't really have much to do. The back four was excellent, and we got a clean sheet, which we haven't really, I don't remember, haven't done that in the last few games. So that's important as well.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Brennan Johnson, sorry, Sim. Just from my point of view, I don't know if you feel the same, Barry. He looks to me like a player who is, a young player within a team, a lot of whom know each other already or are more experienced. So it's almost like he's kind of at the bottom of the food chain. And sometimes when he gets the ball outside the box, he will play a ball kind of too early because he thinks, Udogi's there and he's a bit, I don't know. He just almost hasn't got the confidence to kind of take it on himself, take the game by the scruff of the neck and be like, no, this is my talent and I'm going to finish this off. And I think that will improve as he gets older and more into the team. I've said it a few times, but I think he's probably played a few more minutes in this team than Ange probably expected at this stage. And I think he's shown his raw talent and he will get better and better.
Yeah, look, I hope so, because I think the first 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe, he showed, those balls were coming over the top and, great touch to bring it down. But it was just like, it was going back to, Spurs of old, the last few years where, I don't want to take a chance. I don't want to go in. I'll come back and then I'll pass the ball backwards. So yeah, I mean, I hope he does. I just would like to see. I prefer to see him on the right because that's where. I mean, I'm sure Richarlison would like to see him on the right because that's where he's got his goals from as well. So, and obviously the assists that he's got. So I just want to see. I want to see him on the right, but I just want to see him, like you said, just take a chance. I mean, we were talking about it in the group, saying about. Someone take a shot. We were trying to pass the ball into the back of the net. And sometimes taking that shot, and look what Porro did. He took a chance, took a shot, and it went in. And I think a lot, not just us, but a lot of teams just want to have that perfect goal, that Pep Guardiola perfect goal. And sometimes just, have a shot, because at some point it's going to go in.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of Rodrigo Bentancur, obviously we saw him get 80 minutes tonight off the back of coming back into the team last week. It was really great to see him getting a longer stretch of time. And how do you think he fared today?
Yeah, look, I mean, based on the sending off at Brentford and based on the sending off last night, he's probably lucky he stayed on the pitch after that tackle that went to VAR. Because considering what we've seen in those two games with sendings off, I'm surprised that didn't go down the same route. But it was what I thought. I mean, you could see the quality with Bentancur there. I mean, I think I'm kind of with Barnaby. I think with Bentancur, Maddison, and Sarr, Basuma's kind of gone off the boil a little bit. So to see those, when we get those three together, I mean, it's going to be exciting, and that's what we've got to look forward to. He's obviously got some time in, some more, minutes under his belt. But obviously, the most important thing is then looking towards United. He's going to be key in that game because I think it's going to be a really hard game. One thing that maybe disappointed me a little bit is he didn't seem as vocal. I mean, I don't know whether I didn't really see him kind of, like you were saying about Son, Barnaby, in terms of, talking to the players, geeing up the players, kind of getting involved with the referee. He was kind of a little bit lost. But yeah, it's great to have him back, and because it was a surprise the other week when he played, right? So it's great to have him back. And great, long may that continue. Not just him, but the rest of the players coming back. I mean, I think the only option we have for United now, if Ben Davies done his hamstring, is Van der Ven and Emerson Royale at centre back for United. Porro and Udogie. I mean, for whatever reason, Ange doesn't want to play Phillips or Dorrington. I mean, I wouldn't throw him in for that game, but obviously the most important thing is Van der Ven is fit, because obviously United have got Martinez, Casemiro, and Mount. I mean, okay, they haven't played well all season, but it's Man United at Old Trafford, right? So we can't take that for granted. But it's great that we're getting these players back. I mean, Cess to me looked timid. Talking about players looking timid. He didn't look like he even wanted to run. He was worried that the hamstring was going to go again.
Yeah.
So look, another curveball, I guess, by Ange, bringing him in and playing him at left wing that we probably didn't think was going to happen. But I think, look, it's important we get Solomon back. And I'd like to see then what happens on that right hand side. If Maddison's not back, I guess Kulu would play in the 10, and then it's a shootout with Johnson there. But I still think if we're not further down the line on the project, but I still think that there's probably more. Although Porro has improved, and I agree with Brian, he's probably our most improved player. I still think that there's legs in Porro being on that right wing, because he's far better going forward than he is defending. But I'm not, that is 4, 5, 6 transfer windows down the line, right? It's not a priority now, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. The good thing is we've gone through this sticky spell. We've still got another a sticky spell to get through. I mean, we wouldn't wish it. We're probably going to get Basuma back before going to get Sarr back before Basuma. Sorry, and we wouldn't want South Korea to go out early. But wouldn't it be a blessing if South Korea went out, Basuma was back early, then you got Maddison back, Romero back, Van der Ven back, and then that all of a sudden is starting to look like our best 11 back on that pitch. Mid-February, that would be amazing.
That would be a dream. But look, Barry, lovely to see you as always, mate. Good to have you on, and we'll see you very soon.
We'll see you soon, Sim. Keep gassing up
Friday,
Richie,
Barry.
yeah? Keep gassing up Richie, Sim.
Richarlison is getting me out the mud. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
All right, boys. Big up. See you later.
Have a great Friday, mate.
Lovely to see Barry as always. Let's get Michael on.
How are you, Michael?
What's up, lads?
Hello, mate.
How you doing, Michael? How you doing tonight?
Honestly, I don't know why, but I didn't expect to be stressed on a Friday night. So, Dr. Tottenham comes along and I was, oh boy. It was a hard watch, let's be honest about it, right?
It was, but look, we're through to the next round. You can now put your feet up for the rest of the weekend and watch all the other sides try and fight their way into the fourth round. As much as it was a hard watch at times, do you think we deserve to go through tonight?
Yes, I think we did, right? Because when you look at the balance of play, I think we had like twice the amount of shots of Burnley, twice the amount of possession, 7 shots on target. I know those weren't the quality chances, and you can argue that Burnley actually had a more clinical chance if they had a seasoned striker like Ivan Toney getting on the end of that chance in the first half. I think we might have been in trouble. But other than that, I think we defended quite resolutely. As I said, other than that one chance in the first half, and maybe literally at the dying minutes, the goalkeeper header to one of the Burnley players who blazed it over the bar. I think other than that, I didn't really feel threatened. But I'm just so scared with FA Cup. Watching Tottenham play the FA Cup, that every single time we don't perform and we don't swipe the team away in the first half, I'm always sitting on the edge of the seat, right? I've seen Middlesbrough, I've seen Sheffield, I've seen, and I've only been a fan for 5 years I think now, but I've already seen a couple of embarrassing FA Cup exits. So when we went to the dugout, when we went off the pitch in the first half, with a 0-0 scoreline, I was,
Yeah.
you know, you know the feeling, right? We all do.
So, Michael, basically what you're saying is that you are responsible for the jinx of us going out to clubs like these over the last 5 years, specifically in the 5th round. The key to this year, if we can get past that 5th round hoodoo, then we can, I think, go all the way. But I just want to look forward a little bit. Obviously, we talked a lot about tonight's performance. Going into the Man United game, obviously Lo Celso didn't have his best performance today. Bentancur was great. What do you think will the kind of central midfield three look like for that United game? Because Oliver Skipp also didn't have a great game, and someone's going to have to play in that 6. Maybe it'll be Bentancur, in which case someone will have to come in and play in that 8. What would you do, Michael?
I have to be honest, I was a bit surprised that Oliver Skipp wasn't the first one to come off. I'm not really sure what Ange sees in him. And listen, I don't want to come on here and, slag off our academy graduate, right?
Yeah.
I still have a lot of respect for the guy. He represents our colors, but let's be honest about it. His performances recently haven't been good. Like ever since he came back from that long injury or whatever it was that kept him out for many months, right? He's not been the same player. And honestly, I think I know Højbjerg is about to exit the club, most likely, right? So maybe that's why he's not starting. But what I saw from Højbjerg today was also not a good performance, but I think it was still better than Skippy. I would like to for us to play the Højbjerg, Bentancur, Lo Celso midfield against Man United. I just think, well, one thing I have to mention is I don't think Skip's natural position is number 8. And I just feel like if we want to play him, I would rather see him playing a defensive mid role and Bentancur being one of the 8s. I think Bentancur is way more progressive. He carries the ball better, and I think he has an eye for a pass. I've seen a couple of really pinpoint through balls from Bentancur today, which listen, it's not Skip's game, right? So I think we should, rather than mitigate the weaknesses of both players and playing them off position, I would rather have a stronger 8 and a bit of a weaker number 6 in Skip, right? So yeah, that's how I would want to see it. I know we'll probably see a Bentancur, Skip, Lo Celso midfield against
my worry would just be that in the form he's in at the moment, if Skipp plays the 6 and Bentancur plays the 8, yes, Bentancur would be great in the 8, but I'm not sure he'd get enough of the ball from Skipp in the 6. That's what I'd worry about, because Skip's just not confident enough at the moment to play those balls around the corner the way Bentancur is doing so well.
Yeah, it's a really tough situation to be. That's why I'm also advocating for Højbjerg to be in the 6.
Yeah.
But as I said, I don't think he has long left in the Spurs shirt, and I think that's the main reason why he sits on the bench and Skips plays, right? Because listen, it's also Skip is maybe not the youngest Skip, right? Because he's 23 or 22, I think, but Højbjerg is a seasoned professional, right? He's 28, I think. If we can at least get one more game from Højbjerg, I would like him to start against United in a number 6 role and free Bentancur a bit, right? But what I also want to say, our front three today, oh boy, it wasn't the best performance. Richarlison, if he's not scoring tap-ins, I think. I don't know what's the case with this guy. I thought after scoring those 5 goals that he did, he would be confident and more eager to get at the end of the crosses and more eager to just be involved in the game. And sometimes I feel like he either ghosts or just he lacks that. The timing precision which comes from confidence, which I thought he would have right after scoring. Sometimes I just feel like he doesn't have this desire to get at the end of the cross, which is harsh for me to say, I know, right? Because he scored all those goals. And from Kulusevski was a bit not a bit, he was anonymous today, in my opinion. And Brendan Johnson is clearly right wing is his much better position than the left wing, right? I think I would rather see Kulusevski play on the left and Johnson on the right, because I feel like Johnson on the right actually contributes going forward, and Kulusevski, I think he's enough of a skillful and consistent player that even if you put him on the left, I still think he will be able to to contribute into the game, right? So yeah, that's the way I see it. But again, like big up to our defense. I think they were solid. And Pedro Porro, oh boy, I love this guy. Like honestly, I'm thinking about buying a Tottenham t-shirt, and I'm thinking about having him on the back of it, right? I you know, because everyone gets sons, kids, and I always like to be like a bit of a different one. That's I don't want to be so mainstream. So yeah, I think Poro, like I'm in love with this guy. I think he's such a good like inverted right back. I think
Yeah, and still incredibly young as well.
yeah, and still incredibly young. I think he can grow into one of the better right backs. In the league, definitely, right? I don't want to give those grandiose statements that he will be one of the best in the world, but yeah, I am in love with this guy. I'm so happy that we got him over the line from Sporting.
100%. I think this season he's been absolutely impeccable, to be honest. And look, hopefully tonight is a springboard for even more goals for him during the season. 'Cause I think that's actually his first of the season, despite I think he's got 7 assists. That's his first of the season. But in terms of the new players we saw tonight, Sessegnon, Scarlett, Donnelly came off the bench. Do you see them? Do you see any of them getting future opportunities in the next few weeks?
Oh boy, Sessegnon, my word.
Was he that bad?
Yes.
He nearly scored. He nearly scored with his right foot, didn't he? Forced a good save out the keeper.
Oh, good. See, I am happy that he is available, right? Because maybe we'll need him. Maybe we will be able to give Destiny Udoji like a 15-minute break or something, right? Because the guy has been playing all the time, right? But Sessegnon, I don't know, he looked slow. I think he looked a bit afraid to pull his hamstring again.
Yeah.
I think listen, this will be part of his career. He has to learn to live with it, right? That's just who he is. His body is a bit frail. I mean, like the hamstring is damaged, right? It's just the way it is. But still, like he looked slow. I don't want to be this guy, but he looked a bit overweight. I know, like I'm not the
Overweight?
one to. Yeah, he looked a bit chubby for me. I don't know if you guys noticed,
Interesting.
but
I didn't pick up on that, but it might have been.
listen, I don't want to pick on the guy. I know it's his first game in a year, right? But listen, if he contributes, I will be glad. But
Yeah.
it's one of the first like names I would look for us to move forward, move on in the summer, right? And yeah, that's the way I see it. But on a positive note, I was really like surprised with Dane Scarlett. I think he contributed a lot. I think first of all he looks a lot bulkier for me than the last time I saw him, because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch him in Championship and League One when he was like having his loans, right? And now today when I saw him, he looks like a 20-year-old man instead of like a 17-year-old boy. That period when you actually gain some muscles, your shoulders are broader. I think he looks quite physical. I think he can like fight for the ball. He can play the striker role. And Dorrington, he didn't really get much of the ball today, I feel like, but from whatever chance he got, I think he contributed well. So yes, I am happy that I saw those youngsters play. And also, like, let's be honest, I'm a bit more like lenient towards them, right? I will criticize Sessegnon more than those two guys because they are like still youngsters, whereas Sessegnon is quite like old now, right? So that's maybe why my criticism of Sessegnon is there, and I didn't criticize Scarlett and Donnelly, right? But yeah, like, listen, we got through. I am really happy because that's our, let's be honest, bar a miracle in the Premier League. That's our only chance at the trophy, right? So I want, even if we scrape through it, I want us to go as far as we can. And listen, let's hope that Scam gets knocked out tomorrow to Liverpool, and let's hope that we don't get a hard draw, right?
That'd be lovely. Michael, lovely to see you as always, mate. Good
Yes,
to have
Michael.
you on.
Still on for the double.
Still on
Exactly.
the double. And
Why not?
listen, we are missing Benz to tell him that I wish him all the luck and patience with a newborn kid. I know it's not the easiest, right? But to be a father. But yeah, we miss you, Ben. And yeah, I hope I have a chance to talk with you just like with the boys. soon.
All right, big ups. Yeah, I'll get the message to him. I'm sure that wasn't meant on a slight on Barnaby. But,
No, it's not, I understand.
His face has gone all red now.
I know, it's all good. I understand. It's all good. I miss Ben too.
All right, see you, Michael. Good to see you, mate.
See you, mate. Have a good one.
All right, and I think, is this the last guy? Last but not least, it's always the fantastic
KPV.
It's KPV.
Yes, boys, you know what time it is. Your boy KPV at WeAreTottenhamTV.
Big up to you, Carl. Is that a Real Madrid shirt you got on? At least it's
Yeah.
white, so I'll give you credit for that.
Bale.
It's Sergio Ramos, mate. I've got
Sergio Ramos. Why are you so close with Sergio Ramos?
Because he's the best centre back of all time, mate. Like, he's won everything. Like, people
What?
need to understand me. The guy won.
Forgetting about Eric Dyer, KPV. What the hell?
Eric Dyer now, man. Sergio Ramos, mate. Yeah, he played against Sergio Ramos when it was Real Madrid Tottenham Champions League under Poch. But yeah, like, don't worry, people. We're going to be back in the UCL next season when we finish fourth, because I want top four. But I want the league. The double's still on, people. Like, do it.
Right.
Do it for Terry Venables, people. Like, we're
Absolutely.
season, mate. Like, do it for him, people. And another stunning goal from Pedro Zorro, as Pedro Port, but Pedro Zorro.
Pedro Zorro, yeah. You know what? He should wear the Kulusevski mask from now on, and then we can start calling him Zorro.
Yeah.
100%.
He's going to score against United again, because he scored against them in April. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was 2-2. So
Good point.
he's going to score at Old Trafford. And who was the last Tottenham player to score in 2 consecutive home games against United, but we're away? It was Dempsey, home and away.
Dempsey, wow.
Yeah,
Did not know that.
you saw him, Tim, at the Best Football Awards.
I
know you
did.
saw him.
Well remembered.
I watched your video, man, but yeah, I know you saw some guy. I don't care. We're not talking about him there.
We won't talk about him, Kyle. Apart from the fact he was your WhatsApp profile picture for a bit. We won't mention him. We won't mention him.
Come on, man.
Carl, who was your man of the match today? Tell me, who was the best player on the pitch?
Venom. Mario.
Yeah?
Venom, man. Like, come on. Did you not see Spurs official Instagram page? Like, they were asking about what lock screen to Dan. Vicario got Venom as his lock screen, because that's what we call
he
it.
did.
So, Venom. He's
Just on his lock screen, he deserves man of the match. Is that what we're
yeah,
saying?
so lock screen, and he hasn't kept 6 clean sheets in the league, but that's 6 in all competitions. So he's only 1 behind Jordan Pickford. So, but we've got Man U away, so that's going to be great. But they've lost 7 or 8 games at Old Trafford, but it's a theatre of nightmares, as the Bobby Children called Old Trafford.
You got these written down, KPV?
No, he's off the cuff, I just assure
Who's in
you.
the back of them Old Trafford again, 6-1. We've done it almost 4 years ago now. It was 4 years ago. We battered them 6-1. Tim was in a studio with Josh and Ben, 6-1, and Kane scored 2. Son, Oreo, and Endon Ballet, but Endon battled off. So, yeah, we won 6-1. So, Onana, you're getting beat for the 3rd time, fella. We have your number. You lost when you was at Ajax in Amsterdam. Same was there. The emotion. I'm still goosebumps from Lucas Patrick. I watched the game earlier, highlights, and I'm still that gives me goosebumps. Lucas Moura, but I
Don't know how we got into Ajax, but we go in some wonderful directions
yeah,
when
but-
KPV is on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Carl, who are we getting in the next round? Give me a fixture. Who are we getting in the next round?
I
Go on.
want a
Throw one
league
out
team.
there.
I don't want a Premier League team until the semis, because I don't want the filth, because they'll lose to Liverpool, but they were home. So I want at least Peterborough, like they're still in the cup. Peterborough, because a man mine from Peterborough, Josh. So I want
Stick it to him. We'll stick it to him. Peterborough at home. I like it. I like it. I
Peterborough.
like the way you think.
They're my second team, but I'll Tottenham win. But if we get home to them, definitely going to the game. But give me who's in it? Name me team from the Championship. Any team?
KPV, can I just say, I've just had a thought. Because of the amount of times in the last 5 years we've lost to teams who are teams we're supposed to be beating, I either want us to have a team who are like lower league, like a Peterborough or a non-league team, or I want Arsenal at home. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want. I want it to either be someone that we're going to beat pretty easily, or someone who we go into it as the underdogs, but at home in a huge game. A North London derby in the 4th round of the Cup to really show that our name's on it. I've called it here now, but I'd rather have the lower league team.
Yeah, the same. I would as well. And yeah, that's our name's going to be back on that trophy because those lot think they were North London. They're from South London, mate, and they're not
Damn
from North
right.
London. They're from South London. We were North London because
Tell
we
him again, Carl.
you lot are from South London people. You think you're from North London. You came to our Perth in 1913. You came to ours. We were North London. You heard Craig Mitch. We're the only North London side. We were actually the team that won the most before they decided to take over. Well, they're not going to make it 15 times because they won it more times than us. Well, that changes because
KPV, they may even be the only football club in this country to have moved twice. They're basically nomads.
Exactly.
yeah, they think they're all North London. Well, who was the first team to win a European trophy? Oh, that's right, it was Tottenham. So they haven't won it since '94. Arsenal. So we won more European trophies. They've won one. So yeah, look at the stats, Schooners. You've not won your last 3 games. You can't even beat West Ham. I know we lost to them, but I can't stand them. But you lost to West Ham, Arsenal fans.
They did. They look, Carl. They lost 2 in a row. They're on the ropes. We're
Yeah,
gonna stick
yeah.
it to them. But look, Carl.
gonna stick
We have to
them.
end the show there. It's lovely to
Mate.
see you as always,
And-
mate.
And before we go, I'm going to go for a 6-1 Tottenham win at Old Trafford again. And Vicario, I know we'll probably sleep, but I want a clean sheet anyway. So 6-0 and then bring on the next 2 games. And then we'll go above the scum. So I'm out, people. Enjoy your weekend. And
you, mate.
and I'll see you all next week. And as
Have a
always,
great one.
leave
Come on,
you
you Spurs.
Take it.
Big up to you, Carl. Always lovely to see you. And that does wrap up the fan show. Big up to everyone in the comments. Appreciate everyone tuning in for the watch along, the fan shows, everyone leaving super chats and comments, interacting with the show. Really do appreciate it. Really does help support the channel. And thank you, Barnaby, for helping
Thank
me with
you.
the stream and coming on and giving, being as brilliant as ever. Go subscribe to Barnaby. He's in the title. If you want to go and check out his channel and subscribe to him, go click the link in the title and it'll take you directly to his channel. And do click the subscribe if you want to let the people know what's coming on.
Just
in your channel.
daily Spurs content in podcast form as well. Yeah, click on the title link and you'll get some lovely Spurs stuff. Upbeat Tottenham Hotspur stuff in the year we do the double. Say what?
Damn right. All right, everyone out there, enjoy your weekends. We are into the 4th round, so we'll see you all very, very soon. We'll see you back tomorrow for all the post-match stuff. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.